Yo, 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 we're back.
The pals are back again. Staring at this nice wall we got in our studio. It's been signed by a lot of people. Can't wait to see who else is going to sign this. A lot of new signatures coming in the new year. Anyways, guys, I'm your pal, GB.
And I'm your other pal, RL, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. Whatever. Anyways, guys, we had our really good pal, the godfather at King Street, the man himself, Sako Dekirmendjian. If you don't know Sako, you must have been living under a rock for the last decade or so, because Sako is the OG of King Street. He's been through it all, seen it all, and he shared a lot of that all on this episode. It was hilarious.
Yeah, we chatted all nightclub stuff, some crazy funny stories from his travels to Miami, some good fantasy stories. Learned a lot about trading cards, and now Georgie's going to be a big trading card person.
100%. I'm into it. I know how I'm going to make that money.
Yeah.
If you want to know about trading cards, get at me. Zach gave me all the knowledge. Actually, I lied. Listen to the episode. You'll learn more.
Yeah, it's a great episode. We shared some funny stories, had a great laugh. So check it out. Subscribe, like, share, all those fun things. And Georgie, tell them who our exciting sponsor is today.
Guys, I don't even know if I can say this, but this episode is sponsored by Cast. That's all I'm going to say. If you want to find out more, www.createyourcast.com. A little bit stealthy right now. We can't say too much, but give it a little sneak peek. There's a big thing in the works, and this is your first opportunity to find out a little bit more about it. Visit the website. Check out Cast. Coming soon. My pal,
LFG.
Let's go.
We moved up big time.
My cousin was talking. I was telling my cousin, he's like, wanted to do something tonight, and I'm like, oh, I'm busy. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, my friends have a podcast I'm going on, and he's like, oh fuck, I've been telling my dad to turn my because they have like a warehouse, to turn part of it into a studio, because he's like, oh, he has a friend in LA that has that retrofitted like a studio, like a big warehouse into a studio, and he's making killing. They just rented out part-time for people to come in and do podcasts.
Really?
If it wasn't during COVID, we could have rented out.
Yeah.
Well, not anymore, because it's kind of...
Yeah, it's like
I wouldn't rent it on my house, but...
Yeah, imagine at George's house.
You know, actually, a lot of people lately, a lot of people have been asking me. Some friends just asked me, like, where's your building? How'd you find the place and all that stuff? And we honestly, I don't know if we ever said this, but we got like really lucky with this place. We weren't even looking for an office at the time or studio. We're just like, okay, it'd be nice to have one. Let's look for, like, what do we say, January, February or something. Mm-hmm. And I think we were looking on like Kijiji for something else. I think I was looking for gym equipment.
When did you move in here?
2 months ago now?
Yeah, Thanksgiving weekend.
Thanksgiving weekend.
So we found it on Kijiji. I was just going through
I haven't listened for 2 months.
That's it.
It's okay. It's okay. We appreciate you listening.
We do know you
It's
do
nice,
listen, though.
Yeah, it's nice to have a real fan in the studio.
No, but
It all started during COVID, because I started going on runs. I had nothing to do. I was staying up at my parents' place in Vaughan, and all of a sudden, we were in the group chat, dropped it, and I'm like, oh, let's give this guys, and it was like, it was interesting, right? Because it was relatable, and it was like people that you know, or even if it wasn't people that you knew, it was things that were relevant to what was going on in the world at that time, and things that, as a guy myself, a couple of years older than you guys, but still relate and try to stay young. So it was good for my 1 hour runs and whatnot.
Appreciate that though, because a lot of times, like, love all our friends in our group chats, but sometimes they'll send stuff and just it's like crickets. Like, not even this, with anything. Like, we have, I don't know how many groups. We'll probably run a few together, but you send it. It's like you try to get something done, and everyone's like, they see it, but they don't say anything. So we do appreciate you.
I just waited for my shout outs.
Well, you're the first guy. I think you're the first to actually hear without us like telling someone we shouted them out. I think you messaged us in the group after being like, love the shout out, guys. I was like, oh, he actually listens.
It was the alarm bells.
Yeah. No,
this place, how it all happened was crazy. Georgie found it on Kijiji, came to see it, couple days later?
No, we saw it. So I found it. Yeah, again, it was like we were just flipping through Kijiji. Ended up on the last tab of what our search was, which whoever ends up on the last tab is like the sketchy stuff, whatever goes on there. But I ended up there, and I saw the studio, and there was like not this space. It was one at the corner at the front. So face north was really like long and narrow. And I was like, okay, it looks all right. Price seemed reasonable. And then there was another one. So anyways, I emailed the lady, and I said, can we come see it? And I was like, Rick, let's go see it like right away. He was busy, so I came like the next day at lunch. Saw it, walked in. As soon as I saw it, it was like pretty much like this without the art. Shout out to Anth.
It looks a little different though.
But yeah, it does. But I saw it. I was like, this feels like a place like to be like creative and have an office, and you know, with the podcast and our startup.
Cool.
Like,
It's cool. It's super
just-
cool.
it
And
just
but it's
worked out.
tough to find because I know we're always like, you know, we found this office, the last office we were at, and now we're moving. So it's always been a challenge finding a cool office that works for what you need to do, right? Like, and once you find that place and it feels comfortable, feels homey, it's like you look forward to going there.
Yeah.
Because it's tough working at a home, whatever, you know.
For
like-
sure. For sure.
And there's times where even we record the podcast or we come here to hang out, and it's like we'll invite our buddies over. Hey, just come, get creative. Like whether it's the app or
But
the
not more than
podcast.
10 people.
No, we've only had like we can only fit like 4 people in here. We can only fit 4 people in here max.
It is a tight space, but yeah, I know it
In
worked
case
out.
Toronto
really well.
Public Health is listening, you know.
No, we follow.
Yeah, no,
rules.
we're,
We
we're,
follow.
we're
6
social
feet.
distance. We measure. We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it worked out really well. And then we just said, you know what, like we didn't. It wasn't a like absolute need, but we're like, you know what, it's a good opportunity. And again, like working from home got a bit tough, especially doing this at my place all the time. Like some days you're like, okay, it's I can always get up to record on that, but sometimes you're like, I want to go to my house and chill. So like, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. Like having Donovan Bailey come into my living room and just hang out, like that was really cool when that happened. And you know, Penny and everybody, but. After a while, it's okay. Kind of like you're in their space and it's recording, so all of that.
This brings it up to the next level, right? It's more
Exactly, that's-
professional
yeah.
and
Legitimizes it.
Yeah.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like you come in, you see again, cool looking art. We got the nice setup. It's a good vibe in here. The carpet. Actually, you know what? Andrew Moretti's making us a new couch.
Perfect. He just
Actually, I don't know if that was we were gonna keep it as a surprise or not, but
Surprise!
Coming.
surprise, yeah.
Yeah, he did a bunch of stuff in my new place. He's done stuff for us before at our venues. I just referred him to Adonis, actually.
Oh, yeah?
No way.
Upcoming guest.
Coming on.
Oh yeah, he's
in a
actually
couple days,
coming
yeah.
on pretty soon.
So,
gonna be a
I
funny
know
one.
they
When
had
you
a
say, when you
call
say new
today.
place, like your
My
house,
own place,
Your
yeah. So
nice.
right before I bought a home prior to COVID, and then
I love how that's a time now. Like you say, prior to COVID, I know exactly
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
right? So
Yeah.
it's easy to identify. And had just started doing the renovations. It was supposed to be a small interior renovation, which ultimately turned into a, you know, an
Was that you or the wife just like says to go? Like, I want this.
yeah.
this.
It's a combination. I give her all the credit, but
Yeah.
you know, we know who the boss is. Just I hope she's not listening.
Give you hell,
Yeah. So so it started and it just evolved and it's something that I have a passion for and I like as well, right? Unfortunately, you know, COVID hit and all of a sudden all of my businesses were, you know, being in the hospitality industry were significantly impacted. But you couldn't stop because at that point everything's literally there's no floor, there's no wall, there's no kitchen, there's
You
no
gotta-
Oh,
bathroom.
so were you like mid renovation when this kind of happened?
Yeah, literally had
Oh,
just
wow.
demoed everything.
So you have no other option.
You have
but
no
to build.
choice. I mean,
Yeah.
and what are you gonna do? Like all of a sudden, am I gonna, you know, buy a $10,000 kitchen instead of a $20,000 kitchen and like regret it for the rest of my life? No, you just man
Yeah,
up and
yeah.
you figure out a way to get it done. And we did it pretty quickly and moved in, and you know, then we came to the furniture. So we had it properly designed, and
Yeah.
Andrew was able to fabricate a lot of our inspirations and bring them to life. So it was great. Yeah, he did a great job, and I'm sure he'll
Yeah.
be very happy with his product.
Did you get really involved with all like the venues that you've been a part of? Do you get really involved with the design on those?
Yeah, we typically try to. There's always like a core group of like leaders or whatever, like in the group
core.
that someone that takes lead on each project.
'Cause I didn't know you were a creative mind.
Yeah, I'm not really creative in terms of, but I know what I like, and when I see something, I'll be able to really like hone in on it. And it's an idea that we'll have an idea. We'll say, hey, this is kind of the concept, and it comes a lot from traveling and going. Like again, pre-COVID,
Yeah.
you know, and pre-children, I traveled a lot. And it's important, especially in the hospitality industry, because you want to go, you know, you go around the world and you see these things in other places, and then you say, hey, you know, there's a need for that, or that would be really fucking. I don't know if I
You can swear.
Yeah,
you
you
can
can
swear.
Everybody does that, eh?
Yeah, first time.
You know, so I don't know if that would work in Toronto or it will. You know, like we got to bring it back. So there's things that you see and you take pictures, lots of pictures, and
Yeah.
I mean, there's the internet. You don't really need that many pictures
Yeah.
anymore, but you come back and. We work with an agency quite often around the corner from you guys.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we give them kind of the idea and they elaborate on it.
Who is that? Sorry.
Community. Yeah. So they
Shout
bring
out
it to
He's
life.
not gonna listen, but shout out to Art and
Yeah.
Jesse and everybody over there.
Yeah. We've been
They're
working with
living
them.
right across.
Yeah. Right
Yeah.
here. So we've been working with them forever. Like they did everything. They did The Good Son for Me, Wayward, the Addisons,
Wow.
bunch of stuff that we've worked on even more recently, Convenience. So a variety of Mrs. Robinson. So they've basically done
Everything.
a lot of the stuff.
Mrs. Robinson is
It's a cocktail bar on College Street. Used
don't
to
know if I've ever been.
be College Street Bar.
How long has it been around for? It's been
2017. Yeah, December 2017.
Jeez, I'm out of the loop, man.
Yeah, it's not really like it has its own really
you been?
unique demographic.
No?
Live band,
I've
live
heard of it,
music.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love
awesome
I mean, obviously
cocktail
now
bar.
it's not happening, but that's one of my favorite. Sorry, one of my favorite things of like when I was traveling. I noticed a lot, and I honestly didn't know Miss Robinson had this, but like one of the things I noticed a lot that I find that I feel like Toronto doesn't have as much. And I notice around the world is like either live bands or live music in like a bar or cocktail bar
Yeah.
environment.
And it's cool because you can go there on a date, and then on the weekends, we have a DJ in there as well, so people get up and dance. But it's it's not your conventional little baby, big baby, someone's baby, whatever. Everyone's something baby now, but
very true.
It's
very
more
true.
like old school hip hop, like Biggie, stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
Biggie,
people
Tupac,
can
yeah.
relate to a little bit older demographic, but it's a fun spot. You can take a date, you can go with a group, just hang out, like
It's a little more
it's a cool
versatile.
spot. But close right now.
Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back. So you're saying so community. So I was trying to check. So community's helped you on like all these projects. You guys bring an idea back.
So we bring
and
the
you guys
idea
work with
back.
them?
There's always a concept behind it, right? And we find the space. And a lot of times you try to fit the concept to the space or the space to the concept. Like it all has to work well together, right? It can't just be one without the other. And then and they do a great job. And then either we've used them before for the interior design, or we work with another agency to do the interior design outside, because their primary focus is obviously branding and brand development. And then it comes down to us to be able to market it, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
And then, figure out a way to market it, whether it be hire promoters or social media, which is obviously so important, and digital marketing and whatnot. And then,
You know what I've just actually realized? So many of your venues have been around for 5-7 years or whatever, and you find usually nightclubs.
Like some of the older
EFS,
ones.
you
Yeah,
think
EFS
was
been
what,
around.
8 years
Good
old.
Sun's been around
Yeah.
for a long, long time.
Good Sun's been around for 6 years, 7 years, something like that.
Well,
So
isn't there 2 Good Suns now?
there's 2 Good Suns now.
Because
Two
the other
and a
one's Don
half.
Mills.
Yeah, Don Mills does great, obviously.
Because
Because
Don Mill at the shop. at Don Mills?
The shops at Don Mills.
Man, I'm really out of the loop right now.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
actually.
I know.
I'm
I
learning.
that one.
I'm learning a lot in this episode. I like
that
this.
one. That one is very popular because the quality of food. And again, I'm obviously big myself up here.
Yeah, it's your own horn, buddy. I
That's
love
the
it.
truth. But the food's awesome, and there's not too many great restaurants up in that area, and it's an affluent neighborhood. Like there's a lot of
They're trying to
quality
make that
clientele.
shops like shops at Don Mills. They're trying to make that high end place
Yeah.
you can go shop, eat, drink, party. The whole.
But that whole side of Toronto in itself doesn't have too many
Yeah.
quality restaurants. So we do a lot of business, and now we've had to evolve and develop more of an online presence for takeout and delivery, and pushing the
Uber Eats, yeah.
primarily we try to focus on our own pickup app that we've developed, kind of integrated with our POS software, but then ultimately Uber Eats, DoorDash, whatnot.
So you have your own that people can go on, like.
Yeah,
is it
so you
an
go on
app
our
or
site. You go on our
Website?
site. Yeah, it's a mobile site anyways.
What's it
right?
called?
TheGoodSunToronto.com.
Plug it, man.
Yeah,
Plug it. This is your
absolutely.
chance.
Everyone,
So
knows,
humble-
everyone,
humble
everyone
guy.
knows it. Everyone knows it.
Guys, go to the goodsuntoronto.com.
Yeah.
Goodsuntoronto.com.
TheGoodSunToronto.
TheGoodsunToronto.com.
There we go.
I think I've had the pizza there a few times. Pretty good.
Yeah, the pizza's
Pizza's like the standard,
pizza. We
yeah.
always get ranked as top 5 for sure in the city, sometimes higher.
Yeah, yeah.
We're really proud of our pizza, but everything is awesome.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
Out of all your spots, what's your favorite dish?
We have a steak tartare at the Good Sun that
That's
can't
it.
be
That's-
touched. Yeah,
Ooh.
that's amazing.
I've never
I mean,
had it there.
it's a unique item. Not everyone loves steak tartare. You tell them it's raw meat, and they're like, "What?" But it's amazing, and the pizzas are great there. The other spots most of our other spots are not as food
Focused.
focused. Although I'm partnered in a venue called Shook, which just reopened on Thursday.
That's the one on
King in Portland?
King of Portland. I've
Yeah.
been to eat there. Really
Yeah,
good.
that's amazing. All the
Really
dishes are
good.
great there as
Wait,
well.
what is? I don't
It's
know
a
that one.
Middle Eastern vegetarian.
Get out of the loop,
restaurant.
brother.
At King of Portland, I'm literally down the street.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Next
like
to where Barbuca used to be.
it's vegan Mediterranean style.
Vegetarian.
Vegetarian.
Yeah.
Really cool. It's
Middle-
very, like Shuk is like
Yeah, it's like an open market.
yeah,
in its
the
translation.
I'm gonna go check it out.
there's that's a lot of like Middle Eastern, but also
Yeah.
some Greek stuff.
Yeah,
underneath. So
where-
I
where-
actually
it's all that
really-
whole region, right?
Exactly.
They all
Where at King in
influence,
Portland?
like across
literally where
from
Barbuca is, like next to 75 Portland.
the same building.
Like right there.
Okay.
It's in 75.
It's in 75 Portland. Honestly, I went a few times. Great spot.
So we were open only for a few months. We got ranked like amazing, like reviews, and all of a sudden we had a disagreement with, because of the type of, the way we were cooking. There were some odors. The neighbors were complaining.
Oh, really?
Then we had a little fire. The whole thing kind of became a disaster. We ended up being shut down for a year, and we just reopened mid-pandemic on Thursday.
I had no idea that happened.
Yeah, we were closed. So it was,
Holy shit.
And but fortunately, we've been very lucky. We picked up right where we left off. First day, like, our supporters came back. It was awesome. So
I feel like you've got that nice, like, tight-knit community in Toronto, right? Like, you've been around for...
It's the Godfather of King Street, man.
That's it.
Everyone gets the name. Like, people always use the King of King Street because it's the easy one. The Godfather.
There's only one Godfather.
That's a good one, eh? That's
There's
rare.
a couple. I got a few colleagues that are on my level, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. No, but, like, I remember when I first started in, I guess, the industry, you were literally, like, one of the elder guys in the industry. And, like, there was the Andrew Moretti's.
Called the elder guy.
I was going to say, you could use the better word, like one of the wise, one of the
these graves aren't even real, bro. I put these in.
You know what the best part is? He hasn't aged. You know what I mean? Like, he's had the same hair, the same, like,
I respect the commitment to the hair.
Because I don't work. That's it.
The
key
like,
to staying
not
young.
a single,
don't do anything.
like,
I agree.
no lines, no nothing. You're just like, skin's good, hair's
great
good.
plastic surgery.
I respect your commitment. You've had your flow for a long time.
Since
eh?
I've met you.
Cancun
literally
is
10 years
Cancun. Like, did you come to my Cancun?
I came to your.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know you back then, but I did Cancun first year, second year, third year. We did second and third year. together.
Well, like, were you selling tickets for
2009,
us?
Not for you, but for I think you're a breakaway, right?
Yeah.
So I was doing it with, I think, Mark Russell.
Okay, but through us.
Through you guys. Yeah, it was all your thing. But
When you're not? Are you still not now? But were you still doing that for a while? You kind of stopped doing that.
Well, from Cancun, as I started getting older, it started evolving into, well, my friends are getting older. They don't want to go to Cancun anymore. So we came up with a new concept called Exodus, which was Vegas. So that's now on year 11. And we've evolved from we used to do Memorial Day weekend. Now we do 4 weekends a year. We did up until last year. And now we've taken that, because that was EDM focused, and we've done a spin-off now called Desert Drip, which no one really knows about because we haven't even launched it yet. So this is the first time talking about it.
Wow, exclusive. Let's go.
Which will be the hip hop kind of parallel to it. So we'll have 4 EDM festivals, mini festivals, and then we're gonna start with the one hip hop, and then evolve, grow that into hopefully 4 as well.
I want to ask, when you say like 4 festivals, I kind of have an idea what it is, but
so
is it like you just because you're not setting up like a stage?
No, it's not like a stage. We call it a festival, but it's we sell a wristband. You buy wristband and you go. We have a schedule for you, so it'll be like Thursday day party, night party, Friday day party, night party, same thing Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday. So it's like
sounds
Thursday,
like
Friday,
our typical
Saturday,
weekend in Vegas.
Yeah, if you can make it. Like, I mean, most
tough.
people are done halfway through, anyways.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful setup because it's a really inexpensive price. It varies depending on when you buy it, and we have literally our own designated line with our own signage, and it's like literally the premier clubs in Vegas. You're not going to Chateau or whatever. You're going to XS. You're going to Hakkasan. You're going to Wet Republic. You're going to Encore Beach, and so with all of the biggest talent that they'll have, whether it be Calvin Harris or Tiesto, and a lot of these events. Chain smokers, like, just to get in, it's like $250, and you got to wait in line. With us, you're paying like $100 or $150. You don't have to wait in line. Go right through. It's really like kind of like unbelievable. You always see people, because we have follow a lot of chatter online, and they're like, oh yeah, this is fake, can't be true. You know, it's like, oh no, it's true. It is what it is. So we'll get like 2,000 people in a weekend.
Shit. Did you guys ever overlap Cancun and Exodus, or was it?
Never did. No,
so you were like, I'm done with it. That's it.
Yeah, I still my last year there, I was like, man, I feel old. Can't do this anymore.
You're like 24 or something.
And I'm like, that's it. So I've gone back a couple of times because one of my good friends is still lives there. He's this guy Shaw. He's like the king of Cancun.
I don't know him personally, but I just know him. He's the king of Cancun.
Yeah.
I didn't know he lived. I thought he was.
He lives there. No, he comes here.
Isn't he from there?
No, he's from Vancouver, Persian, but lives in Cancun. So
I always thought he was like the Cancun resident, like just like that was the guy.
No, he looks.
I met him for sure when he went down.
Crazy Mexican.
I met him once, and like it kind of in passing through Massimo, actually.
Yeah,
Massimo introduced me once, and he's like, "This is the king of Cancun." And then like you on Instagram,
because then Mass kind of took over for a bit, right? He tried to work. He was working with Shaw, and then I guess whatever.
Yeah.
We all grew up.
We all
Like,
grew up.
we got a little too old to be going to Cancun for reading league.
I went 2 years, and by the end of that, I was like, I ain't coming back
I
here
used to
again.
go for like a month. So,
Yeah.
and imagine drinking every day for like a month. And then you're just like, my body would literally like,
Because not like there's gyms and yoga
No
classes
more.
out there.
Yeah.
No, it's like you wake up and you're drinking from the. Actually, funny story. Me and your brother, that's how we became friends. Cancun.
That's where I think I met Alec as well.
So through you remember
Shout out to
Meral,
Alec.
obviously, right?
Yeah.
So Meral and Alec used to be really good friends. I
Shout
don't
out
know
to
if they
Meral.
still- yeah, shout out to both of them. I don't know if they're still our good friends, but when we were in Cancun, our second year, so it was,
so I would have been there for sure.
yeah, you were there.
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
was there
yeah,
when Alec
'cause-
was there.
Yeah, I think I met you before Cancun, but anyways, so me and Alec met through Meral, and then we started doing these tequila beers, which was a shot of tequila in one of those glasses of beer. You know those little plastic
Yeah,
cups.
yeah.
And it's not even a Dixie cup. It's probably a cup like this. You know,
no, they're like long, narrow, almost like the tubes, like this
what
big.
is this? Probably like a 5-ounce cup.
No more.
Let's call it an 8-ounce cup or something. You put a shot of tequila and you just down it. You have
I mean-
five. You have like 5 of those, and you're feeling
yeah, you get-
unstoppable. So me and Alec, and Georgie, we'd wake up, we'd go to the bar on the opposite side of Oasis because it was that in Grand Oasis, and we'd have like 5, 6, 7 of those, and you're almost
Done.
like borderline gonna puke.
Well, he hasn't changed. He still does that. 10 years later,
Yeah.
still the
Still
same.
shirts off-
still the
shirt
same
off in the
shirts
bar.
You should've
There's
seen-
actually this is like a random side story. So after that happened, we drank those for a long those trips. By the last trip, like the second year, so I did it 2 years in a row. But by the end of that second one, I was like I couldn't drink tequila ever again. I was like I can't do this. For years, I didn't drink tequila like ever.
I have a story like that with Goldschlager, the cinnamon. I can't even chew cinnamon gum anymore.
Really?
Finish yours, and then I want to hear.
Yeah, I
this
want to
one.
hear. So, and mine's not like anything crazy, but like I did it for a while, and even like tequila beers, like the thought of it made me sick.
my
But
God, yeah.
I was in Greece one summer, maybe like 2013. After I finished university, 14, 15, whatever it was, and they have this drink, and it's called an ipovrichi, but the translation is submarine. I don't know why it's called a submarine, but you take Jack Daniels and you drop it in beer. And honestly, it's way worse. But we did it that summer, and I was like, okay, these aren't so bad.
I'll tell you why it's called submarine, because you submarine into the ground.
I think that's why, because I remember the first night I did it. I don't remember what happened after that first submarine. But anyways, that one is a little bit more rough. Tequila beers after that weren't so bad.
I haven't had one since. I don't think I've had one since I've left Cancun.
You know what the problem with the drinking in Greece is? Because half the stuff is fake. That's the
That's
problem.
so yeah. That's a thing.
I've had a few nights in Greece. I've been checked, valeted, sleeping in the car. I've ended up in a bouzoukia, spending 700 euros on flowers, not knowing what the hell
I love how
was
you say
doing.
bouzoukia like an actual Greek.
I show up. It's like basically, if you don't know, it's like a little after hours concert, I guess, if you want to
Yeah.
call it that. And so I'm sitting there. I go with a buddy of
The
mine.
mic a little.
I go with a
Stay
buddy of
close to
mine,
my guy.
and he's like, "Stay here. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna be right back." I mean, I don't remember any of this because this is him
That's what he
telling me.
told you.
I remember bits and pieces. So these girls come with baskets of flowers. And I don't know that they're 70 euros a basket. He goes, I come out of the bathroom, because the point is you take the flowers and then you throw them on the singer. He goes, I come out and there's a circle of girls around you just dumping baskets of flowers. You're taking them and whipping them at the singer. He's like, and then they come to me and they ask me for the bill. He's like, we left that place. We went to the next bouzoukia. You were so messed up. He goes, I had to check. So he goes, I left the car. I valeted the car. The guy runs after me. Sir, your friend is still in the car. He goes, no, don't worry. Leave him in the car.
Come on, he left you in there?
He left me in the car.
Nice
So
little
he
nap,
valeted
eh?
me in the car.
He
That's
valeted-
so funny. Yeah, those
He
flowers get
valeted
expensive.
me, eh? That's a good one.
Yeah.
He valeted me.
Valeted you. Yeah, so that's a thing, right? So you got the bouzoukia. There's small after hours, but the real ones are in Athens. I went for I've never been before to a bouzoukia here anywhere in Greece.
Oh, they have them here too.
Yeah.
Hey, dude, I go to Danforth, some
Danforth.
shady place. You got like smoke inside, and like it's
I've
I
absurd.
just
been.
picture your
I've
dad
been.
there. Eh?
My dad doesn't know, but like yeah,
was
pretty much
younger.
that vibe. Yeah. There was one in Athens, and when I was traveling in 2018, I ended up in Greece in January for a week. So like no tourists, saw like locals and everything. It's really cool. But we had some friends. They're like, we're going to the bouzoukia tonight in Athens, in an air by the port or something. And I thought it was like some shady place. We even pulled up, and I was like in the taxi. I was like, this is like we're in like industrial park. I'm like, this is weird. And I speak the language, but I felt a little bit uneasy. So we start going through this building. It looks like a warehouse, and it gets a lot nicer as you walk through, and nicer and nicer. Then you walk into this place like an amphitheater, and it was picture like a Vegas show, Cirque du Soleil, and like singers. So it's like a full up performance.
Packed.
But where I was going with this, you know how
love
they
it.
throw flowers? By the end of the night, they start throwing like tables, chairs, seat cushions. Dimitri posted a video.
saw that. Is that it?
So that's at the Bazookia. So like, there's a video. This guy, a Greek singer. No one's gonna know this, but his name's Bud Delidis.
We got a lot of Greek listeners.
Bud Delidis is like one of the most famous Greek singers. He passed away. He was pretty young, like whatever, this big superstar. There's a video of him in a concert our buddy posted. Shout out to Dimitri. And he's standing on the stage, and there's like the couch cushions. Picture EFS take every cushion and throw it at the stage. The guy was getting hit and still singing.
I was watching. I'm like, what are they doing?
Like, this
I
can't
didn't even
be real.
bother reading the caption. I was like, man, freaking Greeks, man.
No, that's a real thing. I messaged Dimitri. I was like, this is insane. He's like, I love being Greek.
Dimitri.
How much fun is that stuff?
That's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah, tell us his goal slogger story.
Oh, that's nothing. That was like, I was at a soccer tournament.
It's nothing. Soccer tournament.
I was at a soccer tournament. We got really wasted. And for some reason, I decided to drink the whole bottle of Goldschlager.
Why are we even drinking Goldschlager
I
to
have
start?
no idea. When you're like 18 years old, 16 years old, I don't know. You're drinking anything. I used to drink peach snaps. I used to drink white Zinfandel, like Magnum bottles. Just whatever you could do to get wasted. It didn't really matter.
Mine was vodka Smirnoff watermelon flavor.
See,
flavor.
it didn't really matter what it was.
Smirnoff watermelon. That's what I first and only time I ever had alcohol poisoning. I was about 16 or so. And we were drinking, and I was at my buddy Shay's house. And I'll never forget this. He used to live across from the school. So we'd go across the street to the school, and we'd drink in the back. Because, like, you couldn't get caught, and it was fine, whatever. So we were drinking in the parking lot. All I remember, someone's like, oh, you won't finish the rest of the bottle. And there's probably, like, I don't know, 3 to 4 shots left. I'm like, I'll finish it. I like, start drinking.
Toast.
And I'm walking on the parking lot line, on a parking line. So,
Or you
like,
thought
the
you
yellow
were. It
line.
might have not even
so I'm
been
walking
that.
straight, and I just remember, like, my horizon just tipping over. Boom, out, lights out. Woke up on my living room floor. My mom's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I stand up. Blah, everywhere, yeah.
I was so messed up from this Goldschlager that the hotel actually flooded. The alarm went off. All the sprinklers went off. Everyone evacuated the hotel. And I woke up in a puddle because my room literally had this much water. Like the whole hotel, there was some fire happened in the...
So let's unpack this story for a second. 'Cause first of all, it's nothing. Then it was a soccer tournament. Now you're in a hotel. What country was this in?
Montreal. It was in Montreal.
I was like, this guy, what? This seems like, you said it was nothing. It was a great story.
Yeah. Well, it was another... I've had crazier stories.
I don't want to tell too
flying
many.
out the windows.
Wait, say it again?
Couches flying out the windows. That was a unique one too. That was...
Couch out a window?
Yeah, couch out a window.
Is this the same night? Sorry.
No, this is a different night, different story with a Greek guy. We had
those freaking Greeks.
I needed, so I travel a lot, so I always wanted this status with Air Canada.
Yeah.
So I was trying to get like super elite or whatever it was at the time. I needed one more flight. So I called my buddy the night before. I'm like, listen, we gotta go to Miami tomorrow. He goes, what the hell are you talking about?
Started good.
I'm like, it's the end of the year. I need to get another, 2,000 miles so that I can get this status.
Makes sense.
So he's like, are you insane? I'm like, please, let's go. We got to go. And, you don't have a girlfriend. You don't have anything. It's easy, right? So, okay, let's go. We get in. We find this flight. I find us this flight. It's his birthday. I'm like, I'll treat you to dinner.
Nice guy.
Mr. Chow.
George doesn't even buy my dinner, eh?
I was going to buy your birthday dinner. The restaurants are closed. Not my fault.
It's COVID's fault. It's COVID's
Exactly.
So we get there. We rent the car at the airport. We jet to the hotel. We're like, okay, what are we going to do? I'm following my fantasy football because that night I needed Kurt Warner. I don't know how I remember this.
How old? When does this happen?
I needed Kurt Warner to get like
on the Rams.
5. No, he was with the Cardinals.
Oh, okay.
I was like, that's old.
Yeah.
No, I needed him to get like 5 points, and he like busted his ankle in like literally the first quarter, and he got like 2. And
I love how you
I
remember
think he
this
got like
vividly.
negative points because he threw like an interception before he got injured. It's just one of those things because it's in December. It's fantasy playoffs. You know what I mean? You don't forget, which we're in right now.
We're gonna talk about that after.
So next thing you know, I'm like, let's go out. We go to the club. And I knew the guys obviously at the club, and I need a table, whatever. We end up getting like, I don't even know how many bottles, just the two of us. But somehow we ended up with the whole club ended up at our table. The Raptors had a table literally right next to us. Hito Turkoglu. This is when Turkoglu was with
That's
the Raptors.
an old one.
Okay.
Turkish delight.
And obviously being Armenian, we don't really get along with the Turks so well. But so we were partying.
Greeks too.
And, one thing leads to another. We get wasted. We go to the after hours. Or wherever. I don't know. Somehow we end up back in our hotel room. And I had weaseled our way into a suite. So there's like the main room, and then there's like the bedroom, right? The separate door entrance. I don't know. Somehow, I don't know what got into us. We got into an argument, a joking argument. And this guy's nuts. He whips like a vase at me. I start like, I don't know, basically egging him on. He takes the couch and he throws it through the balcony, off the balcony onto not Ocean. What's the other one? On Collins.
Collins, yeah.
This is where at
South
the one
Beach.
hotel where it used to be called the
Shut
Gansevoort.
up.
So there's like this like driveway where the cars go under, like a landing, and there's like this vents on top of it. So I don't think anything. I wake up in the morning.
So the thing flew off. You're like, okay, time to go to bed.
Yeah. And there's
over, we're
a
good.
chair in the palm tree. So I wake up in the morning and I'm like, don't feel good. We have a flight to catch in a couple hours. I'm looking around. I'm like, where the hell is the couch? He wakes up. I'm like, I see the cushions, but there's no couch. He wakes up from the bedroom and he's like, I'm like, what the hell happened? Next thing you know, there's banging on the door. Oh no, before the banging, I go up, I look out the window. I'm like, oh my God, there's a couch on like the second floor landing, you know, because you look out the balcony and and I'm like, oh my God. And by fluke, there's a guy there cleaning, like a janitor cleaning, but the couch had landed on the right side of all the HVAC duct. And he's on the left side. I'm like, oh, fuck. Next thing you know, I look around and he's on that side. He sees it. The ducts are all bent because the couch landed on there. So
Well, how high was this? Like,
we're on like the 8th floor.
oh, that's pretty high still.
Yeah.
Okay.
So bang, bang, bang. Security comes in the room. You're not going to believe this story. Comes in the room.
Tilted a bit this way.
He comes in the room. We're like, I'm like, what do we do? We're hiding the cushions from the couch. We're like under the bed, in the closet, whatever. So
They'll never find them.
Yeah, smart. I'm not gonna notice a couch is missing.
So
from the
there's
suite.
because there's 2 couches. The one is missing. They're like, where's the couch? Like, I don't know. This is how the room was. We don't know what we're talking about. There's no other couch. They get a call. 4th floor has no couches in their room. They leave the room. I'm like, what? I call downstairs, valet, get the car ready. We run downstairs. We pack. I mean, all we had was a carry-on. We were only there for one night. We were there for 10 hours. We get in the car. We drive to the airport. I'm on the call with American Express. I'm like, hey, my credit card got stolen. I don't know what happened. I mean, American Express or the hotel's listening right now. I'm going to jail, but hopefully your reach is not that big. But
No, you're good.
I'm like, please cancel my credit card. I don't know. Someone stole my credit card. I don't know what the hell happened. See you later. Never got charged. I know they tried charging me because I still got calls from the hotel. I got called from American Express.
Kurt Warner's around. I don't think they're gonna.
Yeah.
I think you're good.
But anyways, we made it through. But that guy's nuts because I had another night with that guy.
Didn't learn the lesson the first time.
No, the night before that. This was the second time. The first time I went to Miami with him, again in Miami, and again we're
This couch happened the second time.
The couch was the second time. The first time was a different story. So we're staying at at the time the Satai, which is like the pimp shit. Like
It's nice.
Sako, you're a great storyteller. Like that story was one of the best stories we've had on this podcast. Like the attention to detail. Like Kurt Warner rolls his ankle, throws a pick, and you get minus points.
It's crazy, right? But you remember that. How would you forget that?
100,000,000%.
That's so funny.
So we're another club. Actually, I think we were at the exact
What's
same
the time
club.
difference between these two stories?
I don't know, a couple years prior. So now I'm taking you 2 years prior to
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're like Damon Stoudemire on the rap. No.
No, that's I wasn't even old enough.
Vince
to
Dre
go
Carter.
there.
Bargnani.
yeah.
Dre Bargnani. Maybe.
Maybe Bargnani. Primo Pasta. So he actually hit on my girlfriend on Instagram once. I don't like him too much. So
He
DM'd
sucks
her,
at basketball
DM'd her.
too.
My
so
wife
we-
now. So yeah.
Dre
Anyways,
Bargnani.
forget about Primo.
Yeah. Primo.
Okay.
We're gone.
So we're in Miami. We go out again. Same club happens to be now in the hindsight that I'm thinking back. I think it was the same club. And we go back to the hotel and we're fucked up. What are we doing? This, that. He's on tilt because someone flipped the table on something spilled on his shoes. I don't remember that part of the story. Attention to detail was lacking. My brain cells. So we break into the kitchen of the hotel, of the restaurant. So we're hungry. So we start making sandwiches. Nice sandwiches, you know. And the hotel's kind of brand has little triangular pyramids of oranges everywhere. So they have oranges everywhere around the hotel. And they have, in the restaurant, they have those pyramids of glasses that they've kind of put in as a upside down triangle. So I don't know, we're eating our sandwiches. We start, all of a sudden we think it's a good idea to whip oranges and play that game that you play at the CNE when you're trying to knock all the glasses off the table without anything staying on the table. So we do that. We break a few glasses, whatever, not a big deal. And we stumble out of the room. Next thing you know, we stumble out of the room right into the security. And the security's looking at us like, what are you doing? We're like, oh, we just wanted a sandwich. He's like, what? Like, oh, we were just hungry, got a sandwich. We bolted out of there again. So I should have learned my lesson that time not to go on a trip with my buddy again.
Making a sandwich. Kitchen's closed, sir. It's okay. It's open for us.
Okay, we made our own. It was like we thought it was a buffet. You know. So that was it. No more stories in Miami. That's the only ones I can tell.
That's it. You stopped traveling with him, eh?
I haven't traveled with him in a while. We have not traveled together. I invited him to my bachelor party, but he didn't make it, thankfully.
Thankfully.
Yeah, prior for the.
We were in Colombia. We would have ended up in.
It would have been the Hangover story.
Yeah, for sure.
Where'd you do your bachelor party?
Colombia.
No way. How was it?
It was great. Yeah,
I hear good things.
Yeah, Colombia's great. I recommend it. It's male for men or women.
Yeah.
Right? Safe, family-friendly show. It's good for everyone. But no, it's awesome. Like, it's just the house that we rented was sick. Well, we went to 2 different cities. We went to Medellin and we went to Cartagena. But they're both really nice. I mean, it's great food, great culture. It's a lively city. So I don't know how it is right now. But when I went, it was great.
Did you do it because like you just done Vegas so many times?
Yeah, I go to Vegas 10 times a year. Out, where else are we gonna go? And I had a couple people on the trip that couldn't travel to the U.S. for certain reasons.
We'll save those stories.
So
and they weren't the guy that was in the first. No,
stories. Different guy. That guy
I want to know how many couches those guys threw off balconies.
Yeah, this crew of people is just.
I have a unique crew of friends. I'm fortunate. They're all amazing people. But being in the hospitality industry, you meet so many people. And it's amazing. And I'm so thankful. I love what I do. I mean, it's hard. It's rare. I mean, I think I've found the perfect industry for myself. It's not for everyone. Certainly the late hours. I'm very fortunate to have someone at home that puts up with me as well and puts up with everything that comes along with it.
You met her through the industry, no?
I met her ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like she was around, but she wasn't really like working in the industry. She kind of got more into it because of me, because I was out anyways. So she's an attractive girl. So she became like, she got into bottle service and whatnot and ultimately got out of it. Now she's a lawyer. So quite a evolution in that sense. But
I wanted to say, so you did the bachelor party was in Colombia, the wedding. Because I remember seeing pictures about, was this 2 years ago now? A year and a half?
Last year.
Bahamas.
Yeah, it was literally a year ago.
One of my favorite places.
Congrats,
man.
happy anniversary.
Yeah.
Great video of my brother. You got to, I'll show you.
Wait, is it actually almost a year? Like
it was a year and 2 weeks.
Oh, no shit.
It was November 16th.
Congratulations. Happy 1 year. Congratulations, buddy. That's
so
awesome.
The great video I'll show you later. My brother falling off a 6-foot cliff. And
what?
It was crazy. Like he was dancing and we fell into the trees. Again, these trees are saving everyone.
No one's safe around trees with you, eh?
But like it's me, him, and my dad sitting there. Imagine all 3 of us are blackout, and it was an awesome wedding. One of your guests, one of your previous podcast, Rowena.
Oh yeah.
So it was amazing. We were very lucky because it was supposed to rain. It was literally it was the craziest week. We went to a friend of Adonis, myself, my dad. I took my dad the weekend before to Seattle for the MLS Cup because my dad's a huge soccer fan.
Wow.
He loves TFC. I have a lot of friends on the team.
We just had Liam Fraser on, young midfielder.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
See, I keep up. Yeah. Not like you assholes. But yeah, I keep up. So we went there. No one knows this story. We missed our flight because we were watching the football game in the VIP in the Air Canada lounge. Almost missed my wedding.
Wait,
flying way back
from Seattle, you came here or came straight to Bahamas?
No, we had to come back here first. But so the game was on Saturday or Sunday, whatever the case was. We had a flight, but we needed to. There was no direct flights. We needed to connect in Vancouver. We missed our flight to Vancouver. Me, Adonis, and my dad are sitting in like the Air Canada lounge or whatever it was at the Seattle airport.
You got the elite status. You're good.
I'm
You're
good.
cruising.
You're
chilling.
Right? I got lounge access. We're sitting there watching the Monday night. It was the Monday night football game. Seattle versus 49ers. Niners are my team, right? We can't leave. Next thing you know,
wait. Let me ask you. Was there we were just sitting there drinking?
No. I'm not really a drinker like that. Like,
you're not a drinker, right?
I am a drinker with a purpose, but I'm not like a casual drinker.
Yeah.
Like,
I relate to
I won't go and grab a beer or
Yeah.
grab a glass of wine. I know it's weird, but
I know I'm the exact same way. If I'm drinking, I'm like, I got a purpose.
Yeah. So we had a great time, at I mean, we lost, which sucked the game, so we were kind of on.
Also, no surprise, Don's with you. Biggest yes man, eh? Like you knew if you're going to the game, he's like, I'm in.
He loves DFC too.
No, for sure, he's a huge fan. I'm just saying, like Adonis, you like, hey, you want to do something? You want to go here? He's like, I'm in.
He's in.
I remember when I told him, sorry, I have to jump, take your story, but I remember the time when he came to my sister's wedding. I don't remember, like, I think we were like pre-drinking or something. I was like, I was inviting people
in Greece.
Yeah, 2016, she got married there, and I was like inviting all my good friends, and obviously consider Adonis a good friend. And we were just out somewhere, and I was like, Adonis, you want to come to the wedding? He's like, I'm in. I was like, I didn't even tell you where it was, whatever. Like, I think I didn't even give him all the details, and he's like, don't worry, I'll book my flight tomorrow. I remember, like. My sister, like, I told him she was in. Adonis, like, emails her, like, the invitation's coming, direct's coming. He's like, don't worry, book my flight. I'm there. Just, like, tell me what time the wedding is. I'll be there. Like, guys, just the biggest yes man always in.
Yeah, he's great. Like, he's so easy to get along with. You know what I mean? He's not one of those, like, I have certain friends that are very particular. Oh, no, we got to go here. We got to do this. Or they're whiny or whatever, Like,
they don't get along with other people.
He's, like, cool,
Yeah.
And my dad likes him, so they got along well. So we had a great time, but we're sitting in a lounge. We run. My dad's like, look, we got to go. I'm like, nah, it's fine. They haven't even called us. They haven't said anything. We get to the gate. Sorry, sir. We just closed the gate. I'm like, what do you mean? I see the bus right there. Let's just get on. It's my wedding. I got to go back. I'm leaving literally like the day after. So if we don't get home, or if I get home really late, there's work to be done. I know my fiance at the time was going to snap because there's like the day before you leave for your wedding, like there's so much stuff to do.
And she knows you were watching the game too, eh? She knows there's no excuse.
So she thinks that we missed the flight because the flight got canceled. So hopefully she doesn't.
Not anymore.
Wow, so many secrets came out today.
Oh, the episode didn't air. It's so weird.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened to the episode.
I was on this random station. I don't know. Didn't make it. Didn't make the cut. So they didn't think they were going to have listeners. So. But yeah, so we somehow convinced them to let us on the exact next flight. So instead of arriving at like 6 a.m., we got in at like 11 or something like that, right? So it wasn't so bad. Still got yelled at. There was still a lot of shit that I needed to do in the morning.
Good reasoning.
But the whole time I was thinking of, hey, is it going to rain in Bahamas? Is it going to rain? Because for the whole month, it didn't show any rain except for the day of the wedding and the day before. So those were the 2 days I had these events, and everything was outdoors. I planned it so that everything was outdoors.
Where'd you guys do it? Like what?
At the Rosewood.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. So, and they hadn't ever done a wedding in these two locations. They're very unique locations that we picked. Like we shut down the golf course there. They have the whatever it's called,
the blue
something.
Blue. I know what
whatever it is.
Yeah, the Royal Blue or something
Royal
like
Blue,
that.
that's the one, right? So we did. So and then. The ceremony was on the grounds, and then the pre-event, like the night before, we rented like this massive suite, like the presidential suite that has like a 3,000 square foot or 4,000 square foot patio. So it's all outdoors and there's no tenting anywhere. So we're just praying, and every day I'm looking, and it's sunny, 30 degrees. But those 2 days, the Friday and the Saturday, from the entire month, thunder showers, 70%, 80%. I'm like, oh my God, how can this be happening? What have I done in another life that I'm getting screwed like this?
It was the gods from Miami for the couches.
So the Friday went through amazingly, no issues. Saturday comes, literally, if I show you a video, a torrential downpour at 11 o'clock. Okay, and the ceremony is supposed to begin at like 2 or 3 o'clock, whatever. Everything's timed because there's certain things, we have to be in a certain place for the sunset. It was very well organized. We're on a tight schedule.
Was your fiance freaking out at this point?
She wasn't.
Oh,
she was
okay,
cool.
good.
She's like, do whatever you want, whatever. Just figure it out.
No sports. No football. No sports.
No sports. So there was sports. I lost again. Tyreek Hill. That motherfucker got injured, believe it or not, on the Sunday. I needed him on the Sunday night game to get me 2 points. He got 0. 0. Okay, but didn't matter. I still won that league. But
nice little plug, eh?
Oh God, it's normal. It's not even a plug.
Yeah.
But so we 11 o'clock pouring. I'm like freaking out. Now I'm freaking out because we've invested so much time, money, effort into doing this whole thing, and it's so beautiful. And they're showing me the alternatives. Okay, well, we can do it here, indoors, this, that, which I'm sure would have been beautiful and fantastic, but still it's different, right? The atmosphere, the experience. We went here for that. I could have just stayed in Toronto and done it if I really wanted to. So anyways, you had your sister's wedding in Greece. You know how much more fun it is when you're outdoors, when you're with 100%. Friends and family. They're all on, we had 135 people on a trip Imagine with all your closest friends and family.
That's
Amazing,
it's
right?
almost exactly like hers.
So somehow I get called downstairs by the hotel organizer. Then there's the wedding planner. There's the event rental company. There's literally 10 people. My best man, or like my brother, my close friend, like 10 people are there. Well, we got to move this indoors. Obviously, like the forecast is calling for rain. I'm like, we are not fucking moving this. We're keeping it here, and we're keeping the other. They're like, listen, we can't move it once it's done, or if we do, it's like 50 grand or something stupid to like move it. I'm like, we're not moving it. We're not doing anything. We're doing the wedding. I don't care. It's not gonna rain. They're like, okay.
All right, it's your fucking wedding.
Yeah, you do whatever you want. So the ceremony went off. No rain. Got to the reception. No rain. One of the head manager comes out to me. He goes, in all my years, he goes, we've never done a wedding here, but I've worked in this industry a long time. You have the biggest balls of steel. You have 10 people telling you to cancel this wedding, move it indoors, and you decided not to, and thankfully he did it. I'm like, yeah, I was a nice guy in my life. Besides the trees.
Besides Miami, everything.
Besides Miami
and the Bazooka. It's got to be the Bazooka. You paid all that money. You got,
Other than
you
that,
got the game back to you.
we paid 700 euros. This guy.
That's crazy, though. Honestly, good for you. That is really lucky because, like being outside, like there's nothing like it. And you took all that time to get down there, too. Like, again, it's who you're with at the end of the day, but like you had a purpose to go down there.
It was nice. It was nice. You get the people that don't know each other. So I highly recommend destination weddings or even attending them. I'm trying to get into as many weddings. I hate weddings. If it's a destination, I'm going. Like, it doesn't matter.
My sister kind of set off a chain reaction.
I'm upset I didn't come to that one.
Had I known, man, I got you out there. She did like about the same amount of people, like 150, give or take. And it was about like 3 days. So the crazy thing is like everybody's together. So like here, weddings, I mean, I've been to a lot of weddings in my life. I have a very big family and I have fun at all of them, but like it's different. Like here, it's a 1 day thing. You get there, it's amazing, but it goes for 12 hours maybe. My sisters started on like a Thursday, started on a Saturday because the wedding was actually on like a Tuesday. So it just like went, each day she had something planned, like drinks and a dinner and then a beach party, and then it led up to it. And even the night of the wedding, it started at like, the reception was at 6 p.m. because Greece is hot as hell. And it started at 6 p.m. and it ended at 8 in the morning the next day. Like my parents and her in-laws were dancing till like 5 or 6. And there was like 20 of us still out just sitting at a table just drinking, like talking, watching the sun
was it
come
in
up.
Athens?
No, in Monovasia.
Where's
which
that?
Is... so it's near where I'm from. Monovasia is Athens.
What's like the closest major city?
Sparta.
Okay.
So Sparta is about 40 minutes. So like Sparta's 3.5 hours west of Athens. So, west. And then Monovasia, you just go down south to the coast. It's a very like small town, like a hidden gem of Greece. A lot of the Europeans, a lot of Greeks go. But if you don't know it, you probably wouldn't venture out that far.
Like how close is it to Glyfada?
Not that far, like a 2-hour drive down the coast. So like if you went up that way and you come down, pretty much like 2.5 hours that way. Actually, fun fact. So it's been very popular the last few years. It's been growing a lot. Last summer, I think 2019, Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union were there, like spotted there. And I'm like, obviously you're going to spot them. Like, it's all just little Greek old ladies running. This guy's 6'4". Like he already living in Monovasia. But yeah, so that kind of put it on the map recently. But anyways, it was either
him or Giannis.
One or the other.
Yeah.
Apparently, I heard a story like when Giannis goes, like he is the nicest guy in Greece. Like anybody goes up to him, he talks to everybody.
So upset he didn't sign. I'm so depressed.
I know, I'm pissed. I don't blame him. Greeks are loyal people, so I mean I don't blame him for staying. But
Milwaukee, what the hell is there to do in Milwaukee?
No, I respect it.
He always said I kind of thought he was gonna stay. If he didn't stay, maybe Toronto. I don't know where Miami came from. Like Miami, what connections to Miami? But I did think he was gonna stay forever.
The Toronto, the Maasai thing.
Yeah, that's what it was. Right?
Plus the big Greek community. Maybe
best.
that's what pushed him away. You guys fucked it up for us.
Maybe his news gonna come here and he's gonna get yelled at every game. He's Because Greek fans are ruthless.
Imagine how many jerseys would get sold though. It would probably break like a record.
It would probably sell.
It would probably break a record.
In Toronto, because Toronto's the biggest Greek community outside of Greece.
That's what I mean.
Toronto and Melbourne.
And Greeks are like, if you're Greek and you meet another Greek, that's the best person in the world. You know
100%.
Like,
they're best friends.
If I see someone's
friend, you know Johnny,
Yeah.
It's so funny. I actually was thinking,
I remember you from the Panihidi. Yeah, for sure. Peter. That's it. Everybody knows.
Have you ever been to a Panihidi? No. It's like a big festival with basically like they happen in Greece. Ask your Greek buddy about it. They happen in like villages, and basically it's like a giant. There's like tables. It looks like
Like a fair?
Kind of looks like it, but almost like a dinner and dance kind of thing. But you just basically go down, you sit at tables, your family, you get a bunch of like cans of beer from like the market, lamb on spits
I
everywhere.
get exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and they just dance all night and everything. But how do we go on this? Yeah, sorry, I was gonna say something. So the one thing that it's funny, I don't know if other cultures do this, but I noticed it during the pandemic because I saw a thing on Instagram. Whenever a Greek is watching TV or like a movie and the credits roll and they see a name, they'll always call out who's Greek. Oh, like, in fact, I'll see
I'm
it.
Armenian. We're exactly the
Okay,
same way.
you do it
right?
too.
We're so proud.
Yeah,
that-
that's an Armenian
we have
last name.
we have a website of like our famous Armenians. It's just like, you know,
Oh,
the
dad goes through
Armenian,
the day. Do you know what?
Yeah.
Remember the guy we met last
Yeah.
week at the wedding?
Yeah.
That's his second cousin.
Dude, my dad is all the time. I'm like, who? I don't
My
know.
mom will be like, "Oh, this guy, she knows everyone who's Armenian." I'm like, "Mom, that person's not Armenian." She's like, "No, Princess Diana, 164th Armenian."
Come on.
So she is. She's look it up.
Is she actually?
164th.
160.
Come on.
So what? Like,
Wait.
how do you even get that? That's like
That's
some
like
great.
Google it.
Can you fact check it?
Fact check.
Wait, I want to ask you, do you notice, because I can tell a Greek
Steve
accent.
Jobs, Armenian.
Shut up. This guy knows every
Right,
Armenian.
that's
Eh?
Andre Agassi.
I could tell you every Greek. I could tell you
Kim
every
Kardashian.
all that, yeah.
That's
Jennifer Aniston, Greek.
Yeah.
Number one. Do you
She
notice
did a
this?
party at the Good Son. So
She did?
yeah.
No shit. Actually, no, I'm not even asking. My question is shit. I'm gonna ask it. Do you, because I can spot a Greek accent, like a Canadian Greek accent, like it sounds very distinct. If I saw someone on the street and they spoke, I'd be like, oh, he's Greek. Is that the same with Armenian?
No, Armenian I don't think is as distinct. I could probably spot a Greek accent before I could spot.
Okay. Greek is very distinct.
yeah.
Like it's very obvious who a Greek guy is if you know he talks. Yeah.
Zani.
Zani, yeah. What's up, Zani? How are you?
Do you know what? This is amazing because
Did
it's.
you look up?
He is, yeah.
Yeah. Confirm.
Sorry, what is
Confirm.
it?
164th Armenian, Princess Diana.
See?
Wow.
Confirm. You
It's a
thought I was
big
making
deal.
it. I don't lie.
Oh, you did to Amex to the hotel.
That wasn't a lie. It was a fib.
There's a difference. There's a difference. And he just came clean.
That's it.
I was gonna ask
don't even
just
know
to
where
It
kind
was
of
an out of body experience stolen by someone else, not me.
he's probably still drunk too. You can't fault him.
Oh my god.
What was I gonna say?
I did want to go back to your sister's wedding
but
at
yeah.
one point.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So it is true with especially Europeans, just in general. That wedding, literally, I remember George saying, "Oh, you know, we're gonna start at 6 and we're gonna go till 6." And I'm like, "Yeah, it makes sense." Like that for us young people, that's fairly easy to do. The thing is, it wasn't just young people. Like
Young people are tapping out before the old people.
grandparents
Yeah.
are there till like 5, and I'm like, "Yo, you're like 90."
Yeah.
What? And there, you can just sit and drink. I find this more in Europe than anywhere else in the world. You can sit and drink for 12 hours straight in Europe, no problem.
For sure.
Like in Toronto, like going
It's
staying
different.
out to
It's
like
so
3
crazy.
or 4, even in the summer.
It even feels
it's
different.
So late.
It's so crazy.
You
Yeah.
know,
it's-
but in
Like, even
Europe,
if
staying out till 4
even,
is a
I mean,
normal
Europe
thing.
is even more different than Bahamas. Bahamas is still like has that, but like once you go to Europe, like the wedding, I went to a wedding, my buddy's sister's wedding in Greece, and same thing. I think we got home.
Wait,
at,
who
like,
was it? Let's see if George knows him.
Well, they own all the parking lots, the Takis. You know,
I
Hope?
know them.
There was
Of
Hope.
course.
No, I know them. Yeah, my
Hope,
dad.
of course,
I don't
of
know them
course.
personally, but I know you're talking about. Yes, I know I can know of them. Yeah.
Yeah, so I went to my buddy John, his sister.
Where
I
did
mean,
they
his
get-
sister's a good friend of mine too,
where did
and
they
her
get
husband
married?
is actually even closer. Pardon?
Where part of Greece to get married?
In Athens
Did they get? Was it Lake
At-
Vouliagmeni?
at Island.
Oh, Island. Okay, my brother got married last summer in Lake Vouliagmeni, so like across the street, basically.
Yeah, so beautiful. Like you get to see the water and everything.
Yeah.
It was, but I think we couldn't even get cabs at the end of the night because there was nothing. It was like 6
6
in the morning.
Yeah, and they're out the airport waiting for people to come in.
We
And not
were
out
doing
that way.
crazy shit, jumping over stuff. I don't know, whatever. There's some
Yeah,
crazy
yeah.
stuff.
Couches out the window, the cushions are gone. The bukai, what's it called?
Bouzoukia.
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 So
but-
bouzoukia is a Greek guitar.
But they're from
That
and they're from
bouzoukia is like
Crete, so they had like
Cretes are
they had like the guitar, like they have the. one,
it's like a little mandolin thing. That's
Yeah.
my Cretan music is one of my favorite. They're not. They're the crazy Greeks.
Let's get one on. Let's get
No,
one on the
Like,
podcast.
I'm sure that wedding was crazy.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah,
It was
Greek,
amazing.
Cretans are like
And that's what like so every destination where I went to a wedding in Istanbul.
how was that?
Amazing.
Yeah.
That was like if you see the pictures, it looks like, I feel like it was like at a royal wedding. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like there was like fireworks, people coming down these steps, and we were on the water. You're on the Bosphorus. You know what I mean? Like it's like it was. You had to take a boat to get there. Like it was sick. It was sick. So, you know, you go to a few destinations and you're like, wow, that's really cool. And it's the whole experience, like you said. It's like the build up, right? It's like you arrive there. There's like a welcome party. Then there's like this little other party. And then there's the wedding. And then there's, you know, the hangout the next day, waking up, telling each other the stories of, oh, this guy fell off of
Oh, did you hear that guy?
That's actually one of the best parts, I think, the next day.
The
No, but
next
it's
day.
the whole gathering, because in weddings in Toronto, it's such a long one-day event. You know, you're up at, okay, if you're going, let's say you're in the wedding party, hair and makeup for women, it starts at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. You know, the men, you got to do the pictures at the house. And my brother's getting married next year, so like, I remember when they were kind of giving us the timeline, I'm like, this is a good, like, 18-hour event.
It's a full-time commitment right there.
So,
It
but
is.
even
It's a
just
job.
people who are, if you're going to the church, usually the church is at 11 or 12, okay, and then you go
always skip the
back
church.
to the, and then you go
Always.
back to the groom's parents' house or the bride's parents' house for drinks, and then you go back to freshen up and change, and then you got to be at the banquet hall by 6 to do the receiving line and blah, 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 and it's a full, you know, good 16-hour day or something. And when it's in Europe or it's a destination wedding, you know, you start early, like you're getting up, you're hanging out, but you're all by the pool, you're all together hanging out. Okay, guys, 3 o'clock, let's go shower, change. We got to be there by 6. Like,
It's the
it's
best.
a
My
different
biggest
vibe.
regret at my wedding was not making it to the after party, because by like 11:30, because I was at so much stress about this fucking rain that as soon as we got into there and I knew it wasn't gonna rain anymore, I just they ran out of tequila like 5 times. They were like, what the hell kind of animals are you people? They kept running and getting more tequila. Like every single type of tequila, we had like 10 different types of tequila because they just kept running out. And I was
Right across the
toast.
street
I was
to, like, the
toast.
convenience
I had
store?
arranged bottle service as like an after party thing because I figured everyone would want it because it's a long time, right? So I figured, but people were not getting off the dance floor, from what I heard. Eventually,
I watched the video inside,
I organized like a whole bottle service setup. They have like my name up there, like with my wife saying like congratulations, whatever. And I get a text. I still have this text message saved from the VIP host at the club in the hotel saying, "Hey, you know, where are you?" Everyone went except for me. My wife even went, which is the pathetic part.
The Godfather himself.
I was so KO'd, and I was so pissed at her the next day. Why the fuck did you not wake me up? Because you know I'd die for this shit, and you didn't take me. You didn't bring me.
Come on.
You know. So, but it was okay. I felt good the next day. We did a day party, so it was all right.
Nice, very nice. That's crazy, man. The best part, so you made a point about the next day when you hang out and like doing all that stuff and catching up. Like obviously the wedding is the best day, and obviously we're speaking to this as like people who haven't gotten married, but from that perspective, it's like I'm sure it's hectic a little bit and a lot of running around, but it's like that's so fun. But even the next day, like at my sister's wedding, there was like a pool, almost a little small pool up top of the hotel. She got married in like this like, you know, little small hotel outside like a little the old fort in Asia, but there was a pool up there. I remember we all woke up and like went to bed at 8, woke up at like 10 or 11, I think, because no one wants to, like, you don't want to sleep, right? You just like,
You don't want to waste any time sleeping.
Yeah. We go hang out by the pool and we're just sitting there. And again, show the Adonis. Remember Adonis holding court, just telling stories, everyone recapping.
He's
the
got
night.
great stories.
He's got some. He's got some.
We'll
good
find him out in a couple
He
days.
tells some funny stories. I'll never forget though. This one I've never told, but you know, in Greek wedding, I know all weddings they throw like the rice or whatever. I guess it's a common thing. My sister, they got married in the small church there, so everyone kind of waited outside because it was really tiny and really hot in there. So they were giving out the rice and everything. And a lot of my buddies aren't Greek, never been to a Greek wedding. So one of our family friends, he's like a prankster. He goes up to them and goes, "Guys, just so you know, like in the Greek religion, it's a sign of respect to throw the rice as hard as you can." So he was going around telling all my buddies this. So whatever, they start throwing rice. People are getting
Whipping
pelted.
it.
Yeah. My sister, or my brother-in-law was like, "Who threw that rice so hard?" He kept asking me. I go outside, buddies. I'm like, "What are you guys doing?" They're like, "Yeah, your cousin. Like, he told us to throw. It's harder than you throw, the better." I was like, "Are you guys fucking insane?" Like my brother-in-law had like it was stuck in his head like the whole.
But it's a great
reception
story,
after.
right?
It was so. Anyway, so
The
fun.
best
but-
part about that is that we had such a good like crew of us. Like everybody got along. Like even the people who didn't know the groom side or the bride side, friends and George's friends that came in, everybody got along so perfectly. Like, I remember you're dancing with, you know, the bride's second cousin. Then 2 seconds later, you're dancing with, somebody's aunt, and
Yeah.
everyone's just getting along and having a good time. Like me and Aunt Rose, that's how we became friends.
Shout out Aunt Rose.
Shout out Aunt Rose, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, that's how we became friends at the wedding.
But to
really.
the point, and that's the beauty of the destination wedding is like, it just brings people together. You're there for one purpose. So you're on vacation, so you can't really be mad. So no one's stressed. Everyone, some weddings people come and they kind of like leave earlier. They don't want to be like
They
all
gotta take
happy.
care of the kids, or
Yeah.
there's so many different.
Like all those 130 people that came to yours, like
people are now still friends. They become close, and if they were even acquaintances, are now much better friends. There's so many relationships that have come out of it. It's nice. It's
it. I'm having a destination wedding.
That's it.
100%.
Gotta find a girlfriend first, and then I'm having a destination wedding. That's it.
Okay. Oh, I'm kidding. Don't start.
I know.
Oh, I go in there.
Destination wedding.
And right, wait, let's pivot this conversation.
Sorry. I gotta.
So wait, and you said a comment. Children, you have 1 or 2?
I have 2 now. I had another one.
Jeez,
That was, 5 weeks old.
Wow,
Congrats.
Girl,
congrats. Wait, 5. So when was you born?
November 8th.
Oh, my sister's just right before that.
Yeah, November 8th.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
How's
Little boy's amazing. Little girl's great. So now one of each.
they what? How close are they in?
He just turned 3 in September.
Oh, so they're gonna be close in age. Oh,
Yeah,
they're close in age.
he's a stud. He's very unique. Like
Looking at his father, I would picture.
the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, But like he's very like he's witty, like, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And I speak to him because I've always spoken to him like he's one of my boys.
Yeah.
Just literally not my son, but my boy.
Yeah.
So
He is literally your
Oh,
son.
my boy.
no, but we talk like like normal. I never babied him the gaga goo goo bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like he's like, even his teacher said he's the youngest one he just started school. He's the youngest one in his class. But he's like, she's like, wow, he's way far head and shoulders above a lot of the kids in terms of his dialogue and his language and his speaking. There's other things that obviously he has to improve on, but that part, she's like, you got nothing to worry about. He doesn't stop. He's just like, and he's just it's little things. Like if you meet him, is the way his gestures and just his the way that he speaks and the words that he uses. It's hilarious. I ask him, what'd you do last night? I went to EFS. I picked up some chicks.
Come on.
It was crazy. We had beer.
Wait, come on.
Word for word, that's his famous lines. So,
Shut up.
So yeah, he's hilarious.
What is now like your transition? Obviously, you've had a long career, and obviously, I'm assuming you're still going to continue. But like, how has it been evolving from being young in Cancun, doing everything?
Yeah,
you made it married, having kids. How has it
different,
evolved?
right? Like, I mean, I started off as a promoter. I used to throw so many parties a week. You're still a promoter in whatever sense, and the beauty of being in the hospitality, being a promoter specifically, there's so many transferable skills, so much that you learn, so many people that you meet. So whatever next step that you take, you can bring so much with you. It's not a waste. I mean, it really depends on why you did it, right? Like, I was not really into it because I wanted to make money. I did it as like a side thing at the beginning, and it became kind of like a full-time. I'm like, well, I can make that much money doing this. I'm like, all right, sign me up. Let's try. Like, the first time I did it, I thought I was going to make $1 million on the first party that I did. It was terrible. It was the worst deal in hindsight. But we stuck to it and we got lucky. A couple of nice breaks, and then, promotion led into ownership. We opened up Cobra was the first club in Toronto. We opened that up with different partners.
A little bit closer.
And then from there, that we sold eventually, and just moved on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. And now it's, it's just about aligning ourselves with the right people, the right team, and we're still out there, still promoting. You're still always promoting, right? Like, but any business, if you're a real estate agent, you're promoting.
It's sales.
You're promoting the Pals podcast.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, why do you have it on your shirt, right? Like,
actually, I rarely wear this. I threw it on today for the first time in a while. I wear the sweater more.
But at the end of the day, you get it, right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
always
100%.
Promoters do have somewhat of a bad stigma, so I kind of had no choice but to evolve, or else I was going to get the boot. So from my girlfriend at the time, so I didn't really have much of a say in that matter if we wanted to continue. But it worked out for the best. We opened up the Good Son, evolved.
Well, that's a natural
Addison's.
evolution.
Yeah, there was a
right?
natural evolution, and
The older
from
you
there,
got, the older your crowd got. They didn't
Yeah,
want to be going to
exactly.
19-year-old
Yeah.
nightclubs.
Cobra
anymore.
night.
So, but there's nothing wrong with that. I still like to open more of those up as well, but have other people that are going to be there on day-to-day basis, because they're still profitable. Hopefully one day they come back, and I'm confident that it will. That's it, you know, like, and from there we've evolved into other things. We've done like now dinner with a view. So we did these, we do them across Canada and the US, the dinner in the domes. Wow. We did the Elements Outdoor Studio, which was like the yoga. I saw that over at the
exhibition grounds.
Exhibition grounds. So we've, again, a lot of things that we've learned, a lot of the relationships that we've made, we've been able to pivot and do things in times like, what were we supposed to do? You know, we had these domes, we were doing these dinners, and all of a sudden we couldn't do the dinners, and we had, you know, what should we do? Oh, let's do outdoor yoga. You know, get social distance. It was great. Yeah. So it was
pivoting and expanding, right? Because you did say something that I love. Being a promoter, there's so many transferable skills. Everyone thinks, oh, like your job is easy. You just throw parties. Okay, yeah, that's essentially what you do. But one, you got to be good at sales. You got to be able to sell your party. Because at the end of the day, what's the main difference between your party and the 20 other parties that are happening on King Street? It's you.
Yeah.
Right? That's
people are coming for you. I mean, yeah, the venue matters too.
The venue matters, but think about, and this is one of the best examples. Lost and Found is a basement. It is a tiny little basement. Before Lost and Found, it was Loki.
Yeah.
Remember Loki? Like Loki wasn't.
I went in there one time and I was like, this place is dead.
Now, if you think about it,
I remember one random night. I don't even know how I ended up like a pub. We've got like a 12 bars at Christmas night or something
random, right? But then you think like you turn this basement into a massive nightclub, and shout out Mickey. Like you've probably done,
of course.
Yeah, you've done a million things with him, but it's the people that are there, and it's your ability to sell and your ability to make your party different and better. And then whether you end up moving on to real estate, which a lot of promoters do, because you end up having a massive network and you're selling, just like you're selling a party, you're selling a home. There's a million homes for sale all the time. Maybe not a million, but there's thousands of homes for sale. What makes your home better? Okay, how do you sell it? What do you do? So that is very true that you said that. And I had another point and I just lost it, but that's okay.
Pull the George. I don't think you've ever done that. So you get one, because I got a lot of those when I forget the point. But to that now, so like that point of like its transition now, like being a father, has it changed your outlook at all? Do you still? Like,
I mean, it has. You got to go home a little bit sooner because I got to wake up earlier. You know, there's it has changed for sure. But a lot of this like stuff is new to me too. So I'm kind of learning on the go, and a lot of the super transition kind of happened during these COVID times. So like, I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen when this all goes back to normal. Cause I don't want to say the new normal, because I don't want to believe in that. You know,
yeah, of course,
I want it so badly to go back to that. I can't wait for that day that I go to a concert or a sporting event and I'm hugging the person next to me, not wearing a mask. Like, what the hell?
I got an email from MLSE and all their Live Nation events that they're doing.
MLSE Ricky's been dying to get back.
So
in the games.
I take us to almost every concert. Like, I'm a big concert guy. Love concerts. So they sent me an email today. They're having their Christmas ho special takeoff 50%. Blah blah blah. So I'm going on. I've got like Maroon 5, Backstreet Boys. I'm like, ready to go. Molson Amphitheater. And they're all in like June. I think one was in June, one was in July. And I'm like,
is it going to happen?
Is it going to happen? Like, am I going to spend my money right now? Like, money in my pocket right now is a lot better than money in someone else's pocket.
I mean, sure, they're going to give it back to you.
Yeah,
but
they're going to give it back to you. But in July, like that's 6 months. Like, I can use that money right now. Christmas time.
50% off though. Rick's a sucker.
I know,
for
it wasn't
sale.
50. No, it wasn't 50. It was like 25%.
Finally, there's two things Ricky loves. It's a live event and it's a sale
and a good deal. I think that I don't need.
So you bought, didn't you?
No,
that's the truth. You bought all of them.
No, I didn't. But I already had.
But yeah, but it's crazy. Like, you're like, is it gonna happen? Like, I'm confident that it will.
I believe
well, especially with the vaccine now that it's here and people's confidence levels will. I mean, you can never. There's always going to be the the anti-vacciners, which is fine. I mean, it's their prerogative, whatever the case may be. But at the same time, though a lot of people, their mentality will change. They'll feel more comfortable, and it can't last forever. Like,
I don't follow it in the news a lot, but I remember seeing something or reading something that Fauci said, like at one point, that he believes. I'm not saying this is a fact. I might have misheard this.
We'll get a fact check.
We're going to fact check this. But actually, can you fact check this? Yeah. That he said that he thinks that there'll be full stadiums in the U.S. by fall 2021.
That would be amazing.
Which, I mean, if you think about that, it's still probably it's a year away. But still, like that, like you would assume that even if that's going to be the point, then by summer there should be some, semblance of a crowd. And if you think about Toronto too, like.
But I think that's what it's going to be. I think there's, sorry to cut you off. I think there's going to be something in the summertime. It's my prediction. By summer, we'll be back to some semblance, like you said.
Yeah, maybe half capacity.
But I think by next year, by literally by 2022, I think it's.
Yeah.
Say that though, you have to show that you were vaccinated.
Okay, interesting.
So, yeah, I do still to both of that. I believe that by 2022, this is, I don't want to say over and a thing of the past, but life is back to the norm.
Yeah, I don't want to get into
Yeah.
crazy politics talk,
yeah.
whatever. Like, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to, from my opinion, it has to be more gauged on not how many cases there are, but the death
For sure, death toll. Yeah.
Yeah, the
100%
death total, right?
hospitalizations.
And what if those numbers, they can keep them under control and keep people out of like the ICUs and not overclog the hospitals? Then I think it's easy to move forward.
100%.
Easier to move forward.
Yeah. And you know, like honestly, for me, I've been okay. I mean, I miss like Raptors games. I miss going to restaurants. I miss doing all this stuff. Seeing
Trust me,
buddies.
I miss people going to restaurants.
Yeah, for sure. And that's honest. That's why I hope it comes back. I mean, you know, I think
bumping into you on King Street.
Yeah, no.
No, honestly, man, I was getting to the point, not to say like, just like you say, like as you get older too, it's just naturally you evolve and you still like going out, but it's a little less frequently or a little less, like you don't go as late or you like going to dinners. So like I felt that where I'm at in my life, I still like going to EFS, Lost and Found, whatever, but I also equally like going to places like the Good Sun or going to restaurants and having a dinner, drinks and whatever. And I was getting a little older.
Mrs. Robinson, convenience.
I'm 100%. Convenience actually went to quite a few times. It's changed now.
Well, yeah, over the summertime, we turned it into a Caribbean spot.
Oh,
which
okay.
Became super, super popular, called Miss Licklemore's.
Yeah.
So that was just a temporary kind of like a pop-up concept. It was a test. Worked great. So now we're looking for a full-time location.
Oh, so
for that.
convenience is still there.
Convenience is still there.
Because I saw the signs. I was like, I don't understand what happened. I
Yeah.
actually really like convenience.
But
I think it's a great
again,
spot.
it revolves around anti-social distancing. So
Right.
it doesn't really work when you
just
got to
all
be
tight
6 feet.
space, yeah. Which I think is a great spot. But that's what I'm getting at too, is like that. I really never thought I would say really miss going on nightclubs. Like I obviously like I said, like going, but I really miss that. I miss going to like just being around people, honestly. And I'm sure I'm not saying anything that's profound. Everybody's like that, but I really hope that in the spring and summer and things progress because
Now, you see
like,
these places, people want to go. We were at one point when they changed the last call to 9 o'clock. We still opened EFS and people were coming. We were open from 6 to 10.
Yeah.
Imagine a nightclub from 6 to 10. You wouldn't even get out of bed before 10 o'clock.
We had a Ronnie.
who are we talking about?
Ronnie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Ronnie.
promoting for
Yeah.
us.
So we had him, and he came in. We did the episode. I think it was like 5 to 7. 'Cause you had to be at EFS by like 7 or something. So we gotta be there. We're like, what? Like normally you're like going to the gym at 7,
Yeah.
pre-drinking at 9. He's like, no pre-drink, straight to the bar. We got 6 people in our little like tent area. Or whatever.
But we followed every, letter of the law. We had plexiglass barriers. We had 6 people in booth. We had food. We literally had to change
Outdoor.
EFS until, we were lucky that we had the patio, obviously, because not every venue, like Wayward, unfortunately, we didn't have that. But, at EFS, we had a patio, so.
I've thrown 2 of my Crown Entertainment anniversary parties at. Well, one
Skip
was at
one of
EFS. One was at Dolce when it was originally
Yeah.
Dolce. So I think Dolce we did upstairs. Crown 2 or 3 year. That's the one you skipped, I think.
what was Dolce?
Dolce
Before
was
EFS.
Before EFS, it was called Dolce. I think it was an Ink venue, wasn't it?
No.
Was it yours?
No, it wasn't me. It was my partner.
I was your partner. Yeah. So it was Dolce. I remember
That's
that.
a long time ago. I don't-
Massimo set that up, and then we ended up doing EFS, and I can't remember which one it rained. And again, I was like, it's not gonna rain. We're staying upstairs. We're staying upstairs.
I think
We're
I
staying-
missed that one because I don't remember rain.
So then that's the one you probably. I think you skipped the other one though, but maybe you skipped both. Who knows? Terrible friend.
Terrible.
So
Probably
cut.
no birthday dinner, skipping his parties.
no housewarming. Gosh, man.
I gave you a housewarming. You haven't used it. It's your problem.
Yeah, that's
So
I gave him.
that's
I
bad
gave.
on
Hold
your
on.
part.
I gave him. I gave him 2 free condo cleanings anytime.
That's nice.
Any
That's
use.
nice.
That's
That's
like
nice,
a
yeah.
good like $1,000 value.
And you can regift it.
Hey George, nice condo. I gotta re-gift it
You
back.
could give. Hey, the this is not transferable.
It's like
You
a
give it to
panettone.
anybody.
It's just basically the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, with EFS, I was gonna we threw our party there, and I'm like, it's not gonna rain. It's not gonna rain. The whole day they're calling for rain, and then at 2 o'clock, they're like, oh, it's only 50% chance that they're. I'm like, that's it. Keep it upstairs. We get there. And it was one of those like anniversary parties, so everybody showed up on
Oh
time.
no! I was there.
It's a day party. We all get there.
remember this.
We get upstairs. Imagine 100 people, 200 people straight upstairs. Within about 10 minutes, starts raining. I'm like, everyone, go into the tents. Go into the tents. 10 minutes later, torrential downpour. We go downstairs. We had a day
remember
party
this.
inside
Indoor.
EFS in the middle of the day.
It went from like 2 whatever time until like late. Like
Yeah,
8,
we went to like 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And
I
Adonis
remember
was there,
Adonis there. That's what I was gonna say. Adonis, I remember being
guys
there.
ended up going
Ace of
off
Spades
in the
for sure.
middle.
Yeah. I have a picture.
That's his
I have a
thing.
picture.
That's
I
his
think I have a
thing.
picture of each of us holding
it
a bottle of
went
champagne.
off in the middle of the day because it was so random. Like people left at 7 o'clock and it's fully bright out.
And they're tanked.
And
Oh,
everyone's
yeah.
like, nobody's walking.
Those are
It's like
the
you go
best.
from inside and it's dark and it's, you know, they were like, do you want us to turn the lights on? We're like, because make it more of like a daytime feel. Like, no, lights off. Like it's a nightclub. Like, and we did that.
Yeah, it was really fun.
That was a crazy one.
To that point, actually, I don't know if this is where you're going with that, but I think it was interesting when they changed it to allow clubs to operate from 6 to 10. I think I said this to Ronnie. To me, that doesn't, like, if the purpose was to try to reduce people going, I feel like I would be more incentivized to go. Like, obviously there's restrictions, so it's a different vibe. But if I knew I could go like on a Friday night and drink from 6 to 10, be in bed and wake up the next day and feel great,
Golden.
Who wouldn't go?
I think they fucked up though. They messed up when by closing the restaurants. The restaurants were literally their enforcers in terms of allowing people to be masked, really following all the regulations. Yep. Now, by closing the restaurants, and obviously I'm biased, but I'm speaking totally unbiased in this. They closed the restaurants. They basically moved everyone into house parties. And that's where all the numbers are growing. People, because I mean, let's be honest. I don't wear a mask in my house when I have people come. I still have people come over to my house. We don't wear masks. But if I was at a restaurant, I'd have no choice but to wear a mask and be 6 feet apart.
Yeah, follow the protocols.
And they were literally had, you know, the restaurants were policing on behalf of, you know, the health departments. But now by removing that, they've actually made it worse.
That's
you saw the
actually
restaurants have
interesting,
closed. They went from whatever 1,000 cases to now 2,300 cases yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can't say it was the restaurants because they've been closed for a month.
That's really
and your
interesting.
number is more than double.
I 100%.
I never thought about that, and it's interesting too. Because like most, like I'd been to some restaurants in this, like obviously in the summertime, but even when it got a little more strict and you have to, you know, like tables are spread apart. I've been to a few, and like at no point did I feel unsafe. No point did I think it wasn't clean. Like you have to
Because
put your
every
mask on.
restaurant is so strict.
Well, and it's your livelihood, right? So you're gonna obviously as an owner, you're gonna care.
So we're sanitizing.
Yeah.
We're doing, you know, all, you know, the proper contact tracing, ensuring that all our guests are properly protected and our staff is protected because you want to make sure that your staff is good as well, right? So they're all wearing their masks or visors or gloves or whatever the case may be. So, but when you move these things to a home or you close the restaurants, I mean, now it's like free reign. Anyone can do whatever the heck they want, you know, like, and now they're asking yesterday, oh, over Christmas or today, they were over Christmas time. Make sure you rat on your family. Like, who's going to do that? Come on. Like, are you stupid?
I saw that. I was like,
I would snitch on Ricky. I'm kidding, I would never snitch on Ricky. Yeah, I'm gonna go call. Hey, my dad's not wearing a mask. Dude, are you kidding me? My dad, like, I'm not random. My dad was like, not chill about it, but as soon as the day, like when they said lockdown, my dad's like, I gotta go to work. Can't sit still. Like, gotta do these things. And I think whichever one at this point now is like just wants
Look,
to
at
get
the
out.
beginning, I understand. At the beginning, there was so much uncertainty. You didn't know. I remember you guys had that doctor on it right at the beginning,
Dylan
Yeah,
King,
yeah.
right? And it was like I was listening to it, doing my run, and I'm like, shit, I'm learning stuff. You know, like I think I was on that show that I learned that there was never been a coronavirus vaccine before, or because of different coronavirus,
Something, yeah.
something, whatever it was. But I was all like, you know, you didn't know. You
The
didn't know
dialogue
anything.
was so different too. If you listen
You
to
thought
that now,
you're gonna get it, you're dead automatically. You know,
or
what
like
I mean?
and like wearing gloves was the best way to. Like,
Yeah.
I remember at the beginning, it was like I think if I
I remember
recall,
going to grocery stores. It looked like I was going to the war. It was
Yeah.
like,
Perel and gloves was like the big thing.
and toilet paper for some reason.
I'm so happy I work in cleaning. I never didn't have to go run up for toilet paper.
We kept saying, like, even because I was quarantining, I came back from Vegas right when the whole lockdown happened, so we had to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Also, who shits that much?
That's what we were
man?
saying. Like, I was with my mom and my dad. I moved back into their house to quarantine, and we're like watching people freak out over toilet paper. I'm like, Mom, how many rolls you got left? She's like, I don't know. I have like a month's supply. I'm like, well, what's a month's supply? She's like, looks at me. There's like, I don't know, 8 rolls, 10 rolls or something. She's like, yeah, that'll last us a month. I'm like, then why are people freaking out buying like
It never made sense.
18
Never
million
made
double
sense
rolls?
to me. Never
Like,
made sense.
Freaking out though because it was like in the beginning symptoms. You could have like a lot of
diarrhea.
yeah.
Going out buying.
Just wash your ass.
That's what I was like, we got a bidet, Mom. I'm like, we're good.
Yeah.
Man, you kidding? I love using the bidet. Like, well, you sit down.
It's true, actually. That is one of the symptoms. That's a good point. But it's just so interesting.
But it was like people were so uncertain by it.
That's it.
I used to wake up every morning and my mom would make me, because we stayed, like I said, with my mom, and she'd make me like lemon juice and Tylenol. Like, oh yeah, I read online you got to drink lemon juice and Tylenol, and I don't know, like rub Vaseline on your head or something stupid. Like, I don't know. Like, come on.
No one, you know what? Nobody knew anything. It's kind of like.
I'm glad we can laugh about
Look,
this now.
yeah, it is what happened, and obviously it's crazy. It's like, not to sound insensitive, you know, some of the stories that kind of add like a little bit of humor to it is how people, all of us, act
Cope with
irrationally.
this,
Like
yeah.
every human does it, right? Like, in some degree, you kind of like without knowing, you kind of panic instantly. But it was what a crazy time. How far we've come. It's been like
Crazy.
a year
But I mean,
now.
some good things came out of it too. Obviously,
This podcast.
Oh, this
but
is
I was sitting at
pre-COVID.
my
I know, but we
parents,
grew a lot.
and I had all my old cards there. and I used to be as a kid like this, like I used to collect so many baseball, basketball.
I thought
hockey
you were
cards.
talking about cards like Magician.
No, and
Does he
then
look
I don't know
like-
if you guys have seen how
I actually bought some cards recently.
crazy. And speak to Adonis about this because he's bought some crazy ones. Because we started.
Adonis has.
We started
course
doing,
Adonis
we started
has.
doing it. So randomly, we started doing it together. So we're like, we buy these boxes. He does some on the side that are like crazy. Like, you know, I'll let him explain.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, actually-
let's talk about like 5-figure boxes. You know what I mean? Like, or 4-figure boxes. Excuse me, where you can pull like, you know, you get a box for like $1,000, $2,000. It has not signed before. There's like 5 cards in that box. So it's like $1,500, $2,000, and but you
Shut
can pull
up.
a card that's worth 10 grand out of it. So it's
on.
the industry has blown up. You saw that Gretzky card sold for 1.3 million US.
Didn't a Mike Trout rookie card or something sell for like
so
2
Vegas
point or
Dave- so
1.6
he-
something?
Yeah, so it's
It was Vegas Dave?
Vegas Dave was the
I
one
hate.
who,
That's the guy from with the Texans fan. Texas
unit-
Rangers fan.
right.
That
Right,
guy.
exactly.
I'll let you tell your story. Do you know the story about us with him on?
No.
Okay, tell your story. I'll tell a story about Vegas.
So
Dave
I mean, I was just talking about in cards in general. So
Yeah.
like that, I promise you, give it a couple of weeks, you're gonna have someone come on the show and be like, you should have it because it's one of the most relevant things right now is the popularity of trading cards and how I think personally it had probably a lot to do with the pandemic where people were just probably like at home. What am I doing? Let me go dig up shit in my basement. Oh, there's these cards. Okay, and that was me. And I was like, oh, you know what? Let me do something with my son, start a little hobby. So I started ordering a few little cards for him on StockX or whatever, right? A couple like cool rookie cards of players that I liked or I thought might be valuable down the road. And then I saw that, you know, that's not really like, it's cool, but it's not like I see this trend in terms of people buying these boxes and it's like a lottery kind of, right? You're trying to hit this. And it's just that if you see that Gretzky card probably 5 months ago was not worth 1.3 million. It was probably worth like 700,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
The market itself, it's like a stock market. There's so many sites out there that literally tracks like the cap rate of the card, the history of the sales
Shut
of each
up.
card. Popularity, you get them graded by like a central grading agency. There's a couple agencies
Yeah.
out there, Beckett, PSA.
Do you know what? I don't listen to their podcast, but Kai and Levi Bentley, they have they do it all the time. They do like Instagram lives on it. I had no idea
Of
it was
cards?
This, yeah,
Unboxing.
Yeah,
cards.
people are
Unboxing.
literally unboxing and cracking open like I'm
I
sitting
did
in
this,
bed and I'm
2 nights
watching.
ago. I ordered 2 boxes of basketball cards. I have a lot of hockey cards. Sorry, I was gonna say I have a lot of hockey cards that I found. I used to collect when I was a kid, and I kept them in a binder and like in sheets. I don't know if there's any valuable ones in there, but I've had them for so long. They sat in my old bedroom, and I went to go clean my place out. Not even for the cards, just to go and like my mom was like, you have to come clean your room out. Like you don't live here anymore. And I took them. I was like, okay, I'll take these. I know I kind of heard some rumblings. This is kind of early summer, I think. I was hearing about like cards are back. I remember talking about it a lot. Gary Vaynerchuk, I think,
Yeah,
used to bring
he's
it up.
huge on it.
So, anyways, I took them. I haven't even opened it yet. But then I was sitting on the couch the other night and I was like watching I think, basketball or something. I was like, I don't have any basketball cards. Went on Amazon. Man, I didn't realize how expensive even just a regular box on Amazon is. 6-pack of cards. So there's 6-pack of 6 cards in this box. They're like 136 cards, $150.
So now imagine spending $1,500 on 5 cards. So
On 5 cards.
5
So like
cards. It's one pack with 5 cards.
Shut
That's what I'm
up.
telling you. It's not like so. It's about so. If I were you, my recommendation is now doing some research in this. Don't spend $100, $200 on
bullshit.
You know, on 5 packs. Spend $1,000 on one. Because it depends on why you're doing it, right? If you're just doing it just for
I would
fun,
do it to collect, like to
if
have
you're
them
doing
for
it to
long
collect,
term.
but if you're doing it to actually get value, like in terms of like hit something that's going to be worth something, you buy that one pet box that's like 600, like, you know, $500, $600. You can still get.
Yeah.
So you're better off buying one box for 500 than buying 5 boxes for 100 because you'll hit
Really?
that bigger card in that one box than you will. And the reason why the cards when we were younger are not worth as much. They're still worth something. You know, some of the bigger names are probably worth $50, $100, $200, but you won't find a $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 card is because of production of them. There was like 10, they were mass produced. There was like 10,000. Whereas now in these special cases, you're getting cards that are like limited edition cards. So they're literally foil stamp printed. There's like one of 10 or one of 20 or whatever. Like there's different ones. Some of them are one of 1. Some of them are one of 90. Adonis hit a one of 1 of Sako, whatever, some guy from the Detroit Pistons is signed. It was like a crazy card.
I got a card of Zion Williamson that I think is like one of 80 or something
That's
in the pack.
huge.
Come on.
It's huge,
It's like
yeah.
a red Zion home.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
have it. It's in my drawer now. Like I was like, oh, this looks cool.
Yeah, look it up. Look it up. It's
Bro,
definitely
I'm
worth
getting
it.
in this. You
It's-
want to make some big money, Rick?
It's definitely no, but it's like it's become like it's like for gamblers, really. Like, you know, if you're into gambling, you're
Yeah.
into cards now. 'Cause
Adonis is like, he's like, let me make some big money.
so you know, you open it. It's basically what it is.
We should tell him to bring some in on Friday.
Tell him to bring it in, and you know what? He's supposed to come. to
Wow,
my
he'll order a packet. Do
he's
it.
unboxed.
No, he's we bought like 10 boxes. They're at my house. I just sent him a picture of them. He's supposed to come over Friday morning to open it. I'm gonna tell him to save the best one and open it here on the show.
Wow.
You're
All
too
right.
kind.
You're a
man.
good
You're
guy.
too kind.
So
How do we get on this about like
I have
pandemic?
no
'Cause
idea.
honestly,
Pandemic
Should have
activities.
talked more about this. I'm really fascinated. By
I went
this
on
topic
TikTok.
lately.
That's what I did during the pandemic.
You know what? Honestly, you know what I've done in the last.
we didn't even talk about fantasy yet.
We got
We
time.
got time.
We're in no rush.
Yeah, we have more time. But honestly, you made a point about people doing like finding old hobbies or pulling these things out. I did 2 things recently. So I bought the cards I had of my own. I found was a while ago, but I just ordered the
The new ones.
new ones recently, and then the next day I ordered DJ equipment because I
Fucking
was
Givon
like,
B
you
is
know
back.
what, you gotta let. I didn't want to let people.
What was
know
your
I was
DJ
gonna do
name?
it. Givon B.
Wow.
Givon
You know who
B.
gave it to me?
Mickey?
Andrew Moretti.
Andrew Moretti.
Yeah, I'll save a story for another day about how he gave it to me.
When
It's
he
so stupid.
when he gets on.
When he gets on, yeah,
Andrew
true,
Murray's
true.
coming on in the new year.
He won't remember.
Is he going to
know.
deliver the couch and go on the show? Is
Yeah.
that going to be the
That's the
same
plan,
day?
yeah.
That'll
All
be
right.
good. So, anyways, I like literally, I was like, you know what, I mean, we're doing a lot now. We got a lot going on, but I was like, I need some hobbies. So I started order the cards and got DJ equipment. So
now you
get back into DJing. So when the club's open, I'll be back and hopefully, but then I'll have some cards and make some money too.
Yeah, well, maybe by then the cards are worth even more.
Let's hope. I gotta go check that Zion
But
card.
like
Now
I
I'm
was
curious.
saying, so it's about the exclusivity of the card now. Whereas
Yes.
before everything was mass produced and there was never like really any special cards in the pack. So you would hit a rookie card, but there's 10,000 of that. That's
but
why Wayne
not-
Gretzky card is worth more than like. Could you imagine Wayne Gretzky rookie card being worth more than the Michael Jordan rookie card? You would never guess that in
Yeah.
a million years if I told you that before.
Yeah.
But it is. It's worth double because there's a lot more Michael Jordan rookie cards. They only have 2 10 grade that they know of. 2 graded 10, so it's out of a 10 rated Wayne Gretzky rookie cards that are known.
Jesus.
So
Frank,
I'm gonna go.
if you're listening, go downstairs in the basement, pull up your box of cards. Cause
Does he have a lot?
My dad's got probably 10 shoe, maybe not 10 shoe box. Elaine's
Shut
probably
up.
thrown out half of them. But my dad used to collect hockey cards as a kid, hockey and baseball.
so 79 OPG Wayne Gretzky.
So he's got-
1.3
Oh,
million.
remember-
Peaches. That's what I think.
Yeah, so
Is
he's
there
got
any
them-
ones that are of value from back in the day?
I'm sure there are. Look, there depends on
probably
what your
maybe
definition of
200 bucks,
value is.
300
$100, 200
Yeah,
bucks. I
yeah.
mean, they're still worth something. Some of the Mario Lemieux, Brett Hall, this, that. You know, Hall of
gotta go look
Famers.
at mine tonight.
Patrick
My
Waugh.
My dad's got
Ray
he
Bork,
got
whatever,
boxes
but-
and boxes in the basement, and he always says, "Oh, they're gonna be worth something. We're gonna be worth
And
something."
remember,
Sorry, no, I was gonna say because now there's the Pokemon cards. Everyone's thinking, "Oh, I got a Charizard. I got a Charizard."
Dad never got into.
So I
Me neither.
actually have all my like old school Pokemon cards neatly put away in a binder in the sheets, perfect condition. And you see on TikTok and Instagram, oh, these cards are worth 10K, 10K. I'm like, okay, fuck. I
Yeah.
go on Google them. I'm like, I got one, mint condition. And nobody realized you got to look at the little stamp in the bottom right-hand corner to see if yours is a first edition, second edition, third edition. If you got a second or third, it's worth like $50, $100. Like,
Yeah.
nobody, it's not worth the 20 grand that,
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
my
but
six
you still got to get it
Charizard.
graded. You got to send it in, and they give you like this authentication,
And they seal
grade
it.
Oh, really?
And they look, and like you may think you have an amazing card that's like perfect edges, but if the printer messed up when they were making the card and the card is not centered properly, it's not graded a 10 either. So it may not be. You may have kept the card in perfect condition all your life, but it doesn't get the 10 grading.
Come on.
Yeah, because back in the day, it wasn't as, printing wasn't as, I guess, scientific as it is now, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was,
Probably some dude just
So
stamped
it was a
them
guy
on
there
by
moving
hand.
the sheets around,
You know what I mean?
Oh, this one's holographic. I need 2 hands.
So
You know what I mean?
I know
so
what
yeah,
you mean.
cards
It's really
are
good. It's really
cards are
funny.
cards are crazy. Cards are crazy.
I'm fascinated by
Okay,
this
George, you know what?
topic.
Let's get somebody on that knows something like, well, Adonis.
Adonis know a little bit.
There's
about
a
it.
guy- he knows,
You're the
he
intro.
knows, but
Adonis,
there's-
our medium guy.
but-
We need an expert.
but there's a guy.
I would love to get a guy who really knows.
So there's a guy that we started. So I met him on Instagram. I connected Adonis. That's where we've been.
DMs, eh?
I did. That's
Who's
what
this
we.
guy? I want to look him up so I want to follow him now.
I mean, I don't know him well. I just know him through
I just wanna
through this.
see the
It's
post
Mint
picture of
Mint
cards.
Inc.
Mint Ink.
He's Gino from Woodbridge, but he.
My
Yeah,
people.
okay.
Oh, I know. He's Italian. I know him.
Yeah.
Crazy Greeks and Armenians.
So-
Oh, followed by.
By Adonis and Sako.
Yeah, for sure.
Is this followed by? You sure you follow him? It says Don and Anise.
Anyways.
Whatever.
Continue. This is the dude.
But this guy, I don't know. I don't know if he's the he's just a guy. I'm sure there's 10,000 guys like this. But he was on, and he was on TSN Radio, the on. I guess he's friends with Carlo Koliakovo. It seems so. He was on.
Bar Down?
He
Isn't it
was
called
on the
Bar
show,
Down?
like
Yeah,
the morning radio show.
Yeah.
So he was talking about it after, because I guess there's more and more interest.
Oh, he's got a rookie Carlo Koliakovo
Yeah,
card. Eh? That's
apparently
got
he
to
did,
a couple shekels.
Signed.
No, isn't it? If it's signed on the back or the front, it's worth different money. Depends on where.
I
It's
don't know.
signed.
I don't know about that, but now
I
they
actually
come
heard that.
signed.
Oh, now they come.
So they come signed.
What
So
if
that's
you
what
go
you're
and
looking.
get it
So you're
signed?
looking. No, if you get it signed, I think it actually ruins the value. If you get like a super exclusive card and you get it signed, it's like ruining the card. You got to
Really?
get it signed like from the manufacturer, signed, and
Three
a lot
hands.
of them. And a lot of them have not.
That's a good one. Eh?
And they're looking
That was
for
a good one.
like a piece of their jersey that's like inserted in the card, which makes it even more rare. So if you get like a rare signed jersey with that stamped, I mean, you got 5, 6, you got your
One
legs.
guy's
you got
cutting
some-
jerseys.
You got-
He's like stomping the stamps.
So that's what you're trying to hit, basically.
Rick, that's one of your
I
better
just
ones.
picture a guy on like a bicycle, like he's pedaling, so the line's going
just
down.
going.
And he's pedaling.
It's like I Love Lucy, like when they were making the grapes, the wine.
This is actually really
Well, we'll
interesting.
get a
Can't
donut
wait.
while we're talking. Then we'll get a real expert.
Yeah, so
on.
if you guys want, maybe
well,
I'll
let's
connect
see
you
if
with
the
this
people
guy.
want, we'll get them.
Well,
on.
after we're done this, I want to find out where you buy them. You can show me, so I want to. Like,
Yeah.
I ordered, like I said, on Amazon. I don't know if they're any good. I was just bored one night. I was
Yeah,
like, I want to open some packs.
but it's a
of cards.
hobby, right? So it depends on why you're doing it. For me, I started off doing it just because I wanted to have something to do with my son, some fun stuff. Maybe make a few. Like, I'm not gonna go out and actively
Maybe a
like
couple shekels.
buy a card, put it on eBay, sell it. But now it's like, you know, it's you get this little bit of like the rush going, like,
Yeah.
you know, like you buy a pack that's $500, see if you hit $1,000 card out of it, you know, like,
Yeah.
am I gonna sell it? Am I gonna keep it? Like, it's like, who knows?
Yeah,
Like
but like you
Zion
said-
card, Zion blows out his knee next year, it's worth 2 cents.
That's
You
what
know,
I mean.
like-
You never know, right?
It's something to do with
and
your
also
son,
long
right?
term, like you can get a rookie card of some guy now that's probably not worth much, and he could have gone to have the best career
Yeah.
ever, and it's worth a lot of money, right?
Yeah. No, but like you said, it's something to do with your son, right? Something
Yeah.
you can bond over. The older he gets, you keep doing it, keep staying consistent with it. It's
If I don't
fun,
go
right?
broke, if I'm gonna buy $500 boxes, Jesus Christ.
Killing time as the waiting for the clubs. The
He's
whole
buying-
buying cards.
the baby shower, everyone's just
Yeah.
giving him boxes of cards.
I'm like, hey,
This is
this
for your
is this
daughter.
is your first year of university in this box. Okay, see you later.
See, this is my trail card. Go sell it. That'll get your first restaurant open. This is for the university. This is for all this stuff.
Oh my god.
So since we're like kind of near that point, how did your fantasy season go?
Amazing.
You're in a lot. Wait, you didn't?
I'm
no,
in 3
who won?
football.
Football,
I'm
baseball.
in
you
3
didn't.
football.
What did you finish in our
I'm in 2
baseball
football.
league?
I think 4th or 5th, but that's that. We
Fucking
don't talk
John,
about
it makes
that.
me
It's
so
just-
mad.
I think I beat you last year.
This is a
You
rumor.
don't think you've been waiting to say this? Like I beat
No,
Sako.
'cause I don't know if it was last year or the year before. Yeah, 'cause
I've had a strong.
You are always
core,
top 3 in
but it
baseball.
just didn't. The team didn't produce the way I needed it to produce. I
shitty
mean,
manager. That's why.
Shitty manager. I needed to have a better pep talk with them, but I made up for it in football. I made it to all 3 of my semifinals.
Wow.
Start tomorrow. So
Who'd you go big on this year?
Calvin Ridley. I
I
got
got
lucky
him.
with him. James Robinson. I got lucky with.
Same,
AJ Brown. So those are the 3 that I kind of see like
No
on
way.
2 or 3 of my teams that have mapped, that I've kind of Kyler Murray I tried to hit on pretty big because I had a big feeling he's had a couple of slow weeks. I think his shoulder's fucked up right now, but I think overall
Yeah, I went big on Keenan Allen, Eckler, and Mixon. So Keenan Allen's been good for me. Eckler got injured, and I
but
think
now he's
Mixon's
back.
only
He's hot.
Yeah, now he's back, so I'm good. But mind you, the 2 leagues I didn't make the playoffs in because I had Mixon as well, and Mixon goes down.
Yeah.
You end up
It's
losing.
tough,
So
'cause
me
that's-
and George might end up facing each other in the finals in one of our leagues.
I'm terrible. So
Football is my
I
best
can't-
sport out of all.
So football is. I've done pretty bad in one of our leagues. Like I'm in 3 leagues. I don't watch any football. Like I don't watch any football. I might
it's
put the
tough to
tennis
be
Titans at-
competitive if you're not watching.
Well, I'm actually been in this one of our keeper leagues. I'm in the semifinals 2 out of 3 years, I think. In
What league is that with?
our league, not this year.
he
I'm in
has
the
it on
the
auto.
quarterfinal-
You know, there's a
semifinals now.
website, Fantasy Pros. He probably has it on autopilot. Makes the moves just for him.
I just go with my gut. Same with baseball. Fun fact: baseball. The year I won it, I watched like just the Jays. That's it.
No,
and
and
I went to the semis 2 years ago, and I lost. I had Damian Williams. That's the year I sold like Murray.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the year
yeah.
I sold.
Was it keeper league?
Yeah, and I had to trade. I had to trade
DeMarco Murray?
Derrick Henry. I
Derrick
kept him. I kept Derrick Henry when he wasn't producing. I kept him until like he's gonna break out. He's gonna break out. He's got a fucking fridge. I kept him. And what's the coach
Because
Robinson
he had
or whatever?
DeMarco Murray ahead of him.
Yeah, no,
No, it was,
Deion
Deion
Lewis
Lewis.
splitting snaps. I'm like,
that.
this makes no sense.
I was saying the year before because it was.
Yeah, that was the
DeMarco
year they were split. Yeah, then Deion Lewis. Anyways, I traded him away because I was doing well. Got one of the KC running backs, Damian Williams or somebody. He gets hurt. Then I lose. Then whatever. Henry goes off, and then I lost in semis. So either that was twice in 4 years or twice in 3 years. I think semis or maybe quarters. That was the one year I don't remember. Anyways, in our other league, I've done better than you in that league.
No one can see that you're shaking your
JR's
head.
league.
No one can hear it.
Jersey. But what about the LXA league?
I'm in the
Are
semis
these just
right
standard?
now.
Are they
so
standard
what?
standard scoring,
The
standard
last year, I think
positions?
you made the playoffs,
I did not.
I won.
Got plagued with injuries.
and I won.
Is
Yeah,
it
okay.
standard standard?
So one of them's half point PPR, the other one's half point PPR, and then one that we're in together. So 20-guy league, 20-team league.
This is the craziest league by far.
$500 buy-in. High score winner of the week gets $100. 12 teams make playoffs, and it's QB plus super flex. So, but their bench is only 3 guys.
Plus Superflex, which is crazy because
QB.
16 teams, because then you're hoarding
20
like
teams.
20 teams. Sorry,
So-
so you're hoarding like people are rushing to get quarterbacks.
And you can only have 3 quarterbacks. You can't have more than 3, so
can't-
one on your bench. Quarterbacks go for stupid amounts.
Yeah.
It's an auction draft. The draft this year usually takes about 5-6 hours. Every year we've done it from like Ibiza or Greece or somewhere. This year it took 7 hours. I think I had to leave.
It was
because everyone was sitting there, had nothing else to do. They're like, oh, well, fuck.
Dude,
it.
it took
And it's so annoying because
forever.
we'd start. It's like he won't let our commission won't let anybody auto draft. So you have to be.
I
there.
like that though. That's
It
how it
is good.
should
He's
But
a
be.
the
great
problem is, so
commish.
the draft starts at 6. And shout out JR, literally one of the best. He sends out recap emails every week. Like
He gives
the week
analysis every week.
The week before playoffs, he sends a what if scenario. Okay, if this team beats this team,
I like that.
we're gonna play this. But
Every-
he needs AJ Brown. And then if there's a big game, like a Monday nighter, and like it's
No, he does storylines too because he talks about how so me and Ricky had a team. So we joined this league 4 years ago
4
now.
years ago now, yeah.
From the beginning.
So you're together.
We were
Me and
together
George were
till this
together,
year.
yeah.
So
Okay.
we were together for the first 3 years, and Ricky did a lot of the work. Like I said, don't watch a lot of football. I contributed a bit, but
well,
we were
fortunately, he's better at football than he is baseball.
for sure. Baseball I would, but
I'm
we
gonna
did
beat both you guys this year.
We made my team's not stacked. We went to the quarterfinals our first year in this league. We didn't even know how to play like 2 QB
Yeah,
league.
it's the first time.
Then
And
semis.
there's no PPR, and there's bonuses. There's
oh yeah,
bonuses.
like a QB goes 300 yards passing.
200
bonus.
bonus, 100-yard rush.
Yeah, 100
Crazy.
everything is nuts. So we went quarterfinals first year, semifinals second year, finals third year. We were like, it was
great.
stupid, and we lost in the finals. So winner gets like $6K or something.
That's
crazy.
great.
But we split this year. So I was going with the story is JR is the best GM. We split this year, and I had to bring another buddy of mine on because I can't manage this. I don't follow enough. And DB, our buddy, you know DB,
Yeah, he's
he's the goat.
Yeah,
like
he's-
football, he's the goat.
Yeah.
He comes in
Ish,
and manages.
ish.
He's not the Godfather.
JR sends an email at the beginning of the year being like, during this recap leading to the draft, he's like, the dynamic duo, Pretty Ricky and Vacation George split. George turns heel. He's trash talking Ricky. He built this
I
whole
like that.
storyline.
Crazy,
And literally, so I was the bad guy. And then the draft day, I was getting so annoyed with people and I was causing the biggest fuss. Like I was being a child. I was just yelling at everybody. And then
Well, you had 7 hours. You didn't know what
right.
else to
So
fucking
then he's like, he comes back with another recap. George embraces the role of heel. Clearly by his draft. So I was the villain all year in the league. Everyone, they hated me with the
do.
draft.
He's working for WWE now.
He
Like,
gives-
the
he gives
best.
everybody WWE characters.
Yeah, he's the best commish in any league ever.
Hands down.
do I know this guy?
No, he lives in Boston.
You maybe have met him.
out and about one night in Toronto. He's a beauty. Shout out JR. For
Yeah,
listening.
honestly,
You know, he's gonna listen.
He's the biggest. He's one of the biggest sports fans, if not the. He's been to like every
6
Super Bowl for the
World
last 10
Series,
years.
yeah.
He goes. He
Crazy.
follows a Dodge. Like, he was in
LA.
Dodgers are his team. I think he was in there when like Houston. I think he went this year.
Yeah, he's got every jersey.
amazing.
And once he sees that we post this episode and says like in the title say somewhere about fantasy, he's gonna listen in.
Yeah.
Well,
Good
like,
dude.
he's-
I need to get in on this league then.
You
You
join
should-
Ricky's team. He needs the
join
help.
my team. Next
Okay,
year.
deal.
I didn't make
Actually,
playoffs
no,
this
no,
year.
no. Wait a minute.
I didn't make playoffs this year.
Deal,
I got
deal,
it. And then
deal.
Mixon, Allen.
Yeah,
and
so all
Eckler.
three of my leagues they're all three are 12-team leagues. Six. One of them 18 makes 8 out of 12, which is so fucking weird because that's basically the whole fucking league making the playoffs.
Yes, thank you. Our league is debating this right now. I'm like, it's a joke.
No, you
Six-
can't.
it's gotta be
6
half
out
or
of
less.
12 or less. Like
Yeah.
you get 8 out of 12. It's like, and you're the person you like this year. The guy finished first, lost. The guy finished 8th. You
That's
know, like
annoying.
That's bullshit.
it's annoying. I mean, the guy finished 12-1, but he had the lowest points against. You know what I mean? So he like.
Yeah, but that's
kind
the
of-
thing about fantasy when it's not.
But that's
roto,
why
right?
I'm the one that I'm a commissioner of. I reward the most points for in the regular season almost as much as the playoff winner. Because in my opinion, the person who scores the most points for is really really the indication of how good your team is, because you could have the most points for, but also have the most points against and not finish first. But like you can't control.
Yeah, the scheduling.
Kind of the scheduling. Like you do things like I'm sneaky, like I'm always picking up players that I know the opposition needs, or I'm messaging like my buddy, hey man, this guy, I need you to pick up this guy so the other guy doesn't get him.
Come on. So you're the guy who backdoor deals,
the
eh?
backdoor deal guy.
Sako,
Yeah.
listen to this. So I was in the finals again. So I went to the finals 3 years in a row in our keeper league. So DB beat me twice, both like back-to-back years. Third year, I don't know if I beat him or if I'm playing one of our other buddies, Nathan. Shout out Nathan. And I'm in the finals, and I've got Tom Brady as my quarterback. And his quarterback got injured, and Blake Bortles had like a golden matchup. So I go to get him. He had waiver on me by 1, picks up Blake Bortles. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, you know what? I'm projected to win by like 25. I'm like, this is easy money.
And he blew up.
This is Christmas Eve. I was at his house.
Christmas Eve. Tom Brady puts up 10 points. Blake Bortles puts up like 29 or 39.
Yeah, the king of the fourth quarter garbage.
It was ridiculous. I'm like, I just lost. I lost by like 5 or 10 or something. Because I'm like, Blake Bortles outperformed Tom Brady by like 25 points.
Rick's was at dinner. Like I remember looking over, seeing the phone. He's like,
I'm just like, Blake fucking Bortles. But you know, it's okay because Tom Brady, we're kind of boys now. Shout out Tom Brady. Commented on our podcast. No big deal.
Tom, Rick forgives you.
Yeah, you didn't hear it.
No.
You got to catch up. You're a couple episodes behind
this
that.
one.
Tom, we had Carl and Domi on.
Shout out
Carl and Domi.
Can you fact check this, by the way?
We'll tell the story
No,
again.
this is you tell it.
I'll tell it again because it's a crazy story. So we had Carl and Domi.
I've had like buddies, clients be like, first thing I tell me, so Tom Brady? I was like, yeah, man, I don't know.
Yeah, crazy.
People were like losing their mind. Go ahead.
So we have Tom, we didn't have Tom Brady on. We had Carlin Domi on. Her dad's Ty Domi, right? And she's great. She's in PR, and she's, young entrepreneur female. So great episode. Ty Domi shared it. We're like, that's sick. Ty Domi's in Toronto, big deal. Like 80K followers or something. It was great. I wake up in the morning, and I've got like 10 text messages, right? And I was worried. I'm like, fuck, it's going to be something about work. I'm like, shit. So I wake up. I'm saying, it's like, yo, congrats, man. Sick podcast. I'm like, okay, sick, cool. Next one, man, this is insane. Like, that's so good. Like, congrats, you sick.
You're like, what the fuck are you
Next one's like, yo, what app did you use to get these comments? I'm like, next up, Tom Brady, congrats. I'm like, he's not in my fantasy team. Like, what are we talking about here? And then my buddy Perello, you might have met him actually, Dave Perello, he messaged me. He's like, yo, Tom Brady commented on your pick. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's sick. So I open Instagram and I go on the Pals account, and it's just like, do you know when you can't see anymore? It's just like 100 followers, 100 likes, 100 comments. It's like maxed out or something. I open it and I'm like, oh my God, it's like Dave Grutman, best podcast ever. Tom Brady's like, awesome job, Carlin. Like, you killed it. Mark Wahlberg.
Wow.
The Nelk Boys.
Bro, like,
Biz Nasty.
yeah.
A couple of like Sports Illustrated models. Like, just all, like the list goes on. It was
but the thing is that was
insane.
crazy is like, I guess because Ty and Carlin shared it, and like I just like they went to like our photo and comment, and like I was looking at it, I was like, is this real? I thought someone was pranking us. I was like, there's no way it's real.
That's
and then
amazing.
like, but it's crazy because Carlin told a story about like Ty and Tom.
Imagine
really
you had
funny.
this. Did you have the office? Did you have the studio?
It was
It was
a week
the
ago.
studio that did it. For
Yeah.
sure.
For
No,
sure.
but I remember texting her. I'm like, yo, do your pictures get this kind of engagement? Like, I handle my Instagram account. Like, I have an account with like 20K followers. I get nowhere near anything like that ever. It's like 400 shares. Like, okay, likes are one thing, but the comments, it was like 200 comments. And again, just
it was crazy.
It was
That's
nuts.
awesome. I'm gonna listen.
So
to that.
basically, me and Tom are kind of boys now.
Yeah.
We're gonna get him. The pals. Honestly though, when we go.
if anyone can get him, it's the pals.
Yeah.
I like that.
And Giselle, no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tom. But you know,
Tom
honestly,
cool.
I was saying this like, Tom, you can come on anytime. I feel like Mark Wahlberg would have some sick stories.
Mark Wahlberg would have.
Marky
six
Mark?
stories. And he loves Toronto. He's been Toronto. Used to,
Yeah, like so. He apparently frequents here. He's a big fan of the city.
He used to. I remember, like, I heard stories. There's a club called Fluid back in the day. I heard he used to go there all the time.
Fluid.
It was before, like,
Richmond
this was just
Street?
when I was just starting to get into it.
Yeah.
So this is in the 90s, eh?
Yeah. Those
Matheson,
90s.
What's we asked this to a couple of guys who are restaurateurs and nightlife people. What's your favorite party you've ever thrown or been a part of?
I mean, those original Liberty Grand. We started the Liberty Grand before it was Liberty Grand. Those were crazy because it was like 5,000 people, and like those were that was a lot of fun. And
So
then
that's the one that kind of really.
that was a lot of fun because we were like, we were making so much money. I sold like 1,000 tickets. And it wasn't. There was no.
Pop, eh?
There was literally. This is gonna show how old I am. There was no there was Facebook, but it was like Facebook whatever. But there was no like Instagram. Didn't
You
exist.
were on MySpace selling these
There
tickets.
was MySpace. No, but it was literally hand selling tickets, and it was like built a team, and people were going. Like it was so crazy.
Texting
Like,
on your
I had
Motorola.
so much money, I didn't know what to do with it. There was like just roll, like it was like, what am I doing? Like, but I got to get rid of this because I got to pay. Like, because we take our commission and give the venue like their cut or whatever it is, right? Like I was like, whoa, like that was a lot of fun. That was a great party. I mean, there's so many parties. I don't even remember, man. Like birthday parties. We had like Justin Bieber showed up at my birthday party one time at EFS. That was cool.
I
But
think we were there.
No, he went lost and found. He showed up.
We were there, lost and found for sure. I remember that.
but like, now it becomes so common, like, EFS, Lost and Found. Like, I guess those
You
are
get,
the
like,
two
so
most
many,
common.
yeah.
We get so many, like,
In
we
Toronto,
got,
yeah.
those are like the.
Oh, EFS too is like, yeah, it's you guys. Are
I mean, some of the
always-
craziest parties, obviously, when TFC won the
MLS Cup,
TFC
yeah.
won the MLS
Actually-
Cup. That was amazing.
Those are boys with Jose.
Josie, yeah. So he brought me on the bus.
Hey,
the
we had
parade.
Josie on here.
You had Josie
No,
on
we
here?
gotta get him on
Okay,
here.
we'll get him on here.
Let's get
for
him
sure.
on.
So he brought me to the parade. So I was on the team bus. That was a cool experience. But when the Jays hit the home run, we did the after party. That was a crazy
That I
night.
was there. That one I remember.
That game, I was
think
all
it
over
was that.
TV on that game because we were sitting at the front. There was like 10 of us. We were all wearing the exact same. So they kept showing us, and my dad they kept zooming in on my dad. It looked like he mortgaged the house on a bet.
Your brother was there too, no?
My brother, yeah,
You
all
guys
of
were sitting
us.
third
Right-
base.
Yeah.
First base or third base?
Third base.
Adonis sits at first base,
Yeah.
and I was out. So the home run went right over my head. I was in the
Crazy.
outfield.
When-
I have seen
when,
that. Yeah.
Batista hit the bat flip game.
John, yeah.
I was not that drunk that game. I wasn't even like I
We
had 12 beers.
We stayed, and then they all came out, and we
I
started
remember
pouring
the
beers
picture.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And then they all came to EFS again that night.
Yeah.
But when the Raptors came, so we opened up on the Monday for the Raptors. The Raptors was great. Like last year was such a year, man. Like
They came like on for another after the win.
Because they came, they won the championship, and they
On a
came
Thursday.
back on the Thursday. They flew back on the Saturday, so we threw a party. They were there, and then we reopened for them on Monday after the parade, and we
yeah.
threw a private. Well, it wasn't private, but it was
Jeez.
the team.
Invite only, basically.
No, but it was
That must
the
have been
team
nuts.
came. That was a lot.
I remember
of fun.
I saw Ray Shremmer there.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
remember
So we've
that.
had like
A couple of
P
those.
Diddy, we've had French Montana.
You had Ricky Liordi
Who-
and George Gonzalez.
Who's
So-
the of all the people you've got to meet, famous, not famous, just like anybody that you got to spend time with while working in the restaurant, the clubs, anything? Who's one of the people that you were like surprised with? Like they were just really nice, humble, cool.
Well, Jennifer Aniston, definitely. That was one that was cool.
George, come on, say it.
But
She's Greek.
she's Greek, bro.
me and you got on that.
But you know the fact that the water comes out of, like, the hot and cold comes out of the one faucet that was invented by an Armenian. Just throwing that out there. Making sure you knew that.
wait. What a random
Thanks
fact.
for listening, guys. That's it. We're wrapping this up.
Just, I mean, you had to throw in the Greek thing. I had to throw in the
so you
Armenian
turn the
thing.
tap,
You
come
threw the
through-
tap. It used to be hot water from one tap, cold water from the other. An Armenian invented the fact
I'm done.
hot
I'm done.
and the cold
Okay, what did it
come
what
out
did
of
a
the
Greek
one
invent?
tap.
144. That's our clip. That's our clip. It's gonna go on Instagram. The Armenian fact of the day.
Oh my god.
That's a good.
And the Princess Diana 164.
That's a good one.
big
I
one
like
too.
both.
I've got a good Italian joke for you guys. I can't say it on air, but I'll tell you guys after.
Okay.
Just remind me after. It's so funny. My dad tells it all the time.
But Jennifer Aniston was really, really, she was really nice. And like, it's Jennifer Aniston. Like, we meet so many people in the club, like a lot of athletes, and you become buddies with a lot of them.
Like
so they're just
LeBron goes there all the time.
yeah, but
too.
they become like, it just becomes kind of like, sounds stupid, but they're kind of like regular guys at the same time. Like you can relate, more relatable, but actors and actresses, it's a little bit different because they're acting, you know what I mean? And like you meet Jennifer Aniston, you're like, whoa, that,
So are you Rachel or are you Jennifer?
yeah, like who are you? So because they're playing different roles. So she was super nice. That was a cool experience as well. But there's so many people, so many things. Like I going back to the industry. It's awesome, right? Like you get even seeing like going to weddings and you're like, oh, people like are at I met at one of this guy's parties. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, and then they get divorced and like, oh, you fucking asshole, you introduced me. But there's so many, like you bring so many people together in this industry. It's really like something special.
You've crossed paths with so many people.
Yeah.
Had so many experiences, so many different people. So then, like, now that we're in this situation, obviously, I guess you guys are, biding your time, waiting for this to open. But like,
yeah, we're working on a couple new projects. We're doing a couple new things. Can't really say yet, but there's a few.
Damn, I was hoping for another Pals exclusive.
We're redoing Wayward. That's one for sure.
Wayward is that's
the one on top of the Good Son.
Queen? Yeah.
I'm working on a couple of like cannabis related stuff.
Cool.
Speaking about cannabis related stuff, do you see us in the feature of the newest edition of Kind magazine?
Oh,
we'll have to check that out.
Where we at? You better.
The Pals have a full spread.
I like
Pals
that.
podcast, baby.
So we're in every
Best podcast of 2020.
Podcast
I
awards.
like that.
So yeah, this Kind magazine, they're in every dispensary across Canada, I believe. So yeah,
Big deal.
Yeah, Matty Matheson was on the front cover. Dogface 420 or whatever his name is.
The
He's
guy
in
with the cranberry.
Yeah.
And then obviously your pals. Big
Let's
ones.
say, wouldn't expect anything less.
So you got some some.
Yeah, I was just trying, working on a few things. We had to, just sitting there, you start going crazy. What am I going to do? What are we going to do? What if? Then there were so many what ifs at the beginning, right? Like, not that you ever doubted. Like, did you? I mean, then again, you never thought we were going to be in this position to begin with. So then
for this long,
right? You thought, okay. First, I remember where I was when we started here. I was traveling. Every year we go to Vegas for the Super Bowl, so we went there, and everyone's like, "Oh, be careful," this, that.
You were the week before, the week after Super Bowl.
I don't know. I was there for Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fight.
I don't know. I think this was the week after.
Yeah.
Then I was in Chicago the beginning of March setting up because we had a Dinner with a View event. That's the dinner in the domes, right?
Yeah.
So we had it scheduled for Chicago. So I was there doing a site check and going through the stuff. And then we come home and everyone's like, be careful. You're at the airport. Like, this is in March, right? So now it's like a thing. And sanitizer, make sure there's gloves, like
N95.
Like N95, KN95, N95. There's so many things, right? So then it's like, I'm like, geez, but this is nothing, like, hey, this is like something, it's a Chinese
flu
thing, like, like you're just hearing, like, I'm not saying it is because that's what you hear on the radio.
Yeah.
Trump is like, oh, it's Chinese flu, just so you're thinking it's not going to come here. Nothing ever comes here because you're so, like, you hear about the fires that were happening at the time, but it was Australia, like this impacted the entire world.
Yeah.
Together.
Like
crazy.
Like, and it's like all of a sudden you're stuck and I'm sitting there like slowly every club's posting, we're closing. Every club is posting. Every restaurant is now closing. Yeah. I'm seeing it on my social media. I'm like, what? Do we have to do this too? Like, no, nah. We'll wait.
Yeah.
We'll be better. We'll be the only game in town. And
24 hours later.
24 hours later, we put up the same post and we were shut down. We're being interviewed. Like, I'm getting calls from like Donna's sister called me because she works with CBC and she's like, like, what's going on? Can you comment? And I'm like, I don't know what is going on. Like, I'm shocked. I'm sad. I'm upset. I'm frustrated. Like, there's so many emotions that are going through my mind at that moment because my life is literally everyone's life. Like, unless you're Jeff Bezos, making true $1 billion, you know what I mean? Like,
hey, he's got to be some sort of Armenian at some point.
No, I don't know. I haven't found out yet, but I'll find out. If not him, maybe his wife, because she's just as rich now. So
crazy, eh? 70 bill or something she got.
Richest woman in the world.
Crazy. So that was it. Like, we just had to figure things out. So I started like, what are we going to do? So do we rebrand certain places? Do we shut down places? And then ultimately, you have to make these tough decisions. So what are you doing? And then you start looking into other industries and started to see if I can move some masks. That was like the big thing. Sell some protective gowns. Like, I was trying to do like so many things, just trying to stay sane.
That's the thing. You got to keep.
So I got into running, got into listening to the Pals podcast,
Running's a good thing. So running is good. I love it.
Listen to all my fantasy football podcasts, getting ready for the season, so paid off. Paid off. So now we're here. We see the light at the end of the tunnel. So it's just about getting through this last little hump and coming out on the other side.
Nice, man.
I love it. I think that's a good point to start to wrap it up. And Sako, what a great storyteller you are.
I think we might break. What's our record for longest podcast? Pretty close.
Around there, but
our biggest fan. It's gonna be our best episode.
This was just such a fun, easy conversation. Again, when you have a great.
I didn't even know we started recording.
That's why. See,
like, all right.
We fooled you. We got a nice and smooth intro.
But
I was waiting for the goose and whatever the
3, 2, 1.
Are you still doing with the sponsors? You had
No.
Oh, we
Whoa.
record that after. The goose.
Whatever.
What was the company that sponsored you guys?
We got a bunch.
The one that you would always say at the beginning of the show.
Got a bunch.
Yeah.
Okay, were they?
Kind magazine.
Homes by
That's new.
Steven, High Rise Marketing,
What's the
On
company
Men.
the clothing company?
Tight Knit.
Tight Knit. Shout out Tight Knit.
Before Tight.
Wayne.
Anyways, we won't talk
Clothing.
about them if they're not around anymore.
Yeah, they're-
Forget it.
You give us clothing.
Mulberry's.
Oh,
yeah,
Elber and Goose.
Elber and Goose. Yeah,
Goose. Yeah, shout out Elber and Goose. Our boy Dan Phil.
Yeah, they're still around.
Yeah, they're good. Good. We're gonna get them on at some point, but
We do. Well, we were gonna do a London trip, remember?
Yeah.
And then
Isn't that
COVID
where I
hit.
met you? Is that you?
Probably.
I was doing that. I know we're done. We can
No,
cover
no,
that,
no,
no.
But I had
Mansion?
started that. No. I had started that company. It was working. We were doing. It was like before Uber. We were doing like this Uber. Didn't you help me trip on?
I think
when I came to the
did.
university, I went to Western.
I think I was like
We
I
started
stood at
this
the
company.
booth or something.
Yeah, we stood
I
at the
did
booth because I
at-
needed someone, and Hytham was like, "Oh, I got a guy that'll help you out."
Yes.
But I knew you before that.
So it was
But
like
I think
Uber
we
before
met
Uber?
before. Yeah.
it was Uber before Uber.
Shut up.
Yeah, I started this company.
You could have been the Armenian Jeff
Could
Bezos.
have been. I could have been. But it was about group but it was about Uber was around, but it was only black cars. We were trying to do the group thing. So it was like get a group of people and they come up together, but you couldn't do it because there were so many laws, taxi laws, this, that, and I didn't have the resources to fight them. So I was trying to do like a group trip. So you download the app, you create a trip, going from Western to Union Station, and then you shared it on your social media and people would jump on. So like if the cost of that bus was $1,000 and now it's split by 30 people, all of a sudden that cost went down to
Or even
do
like
the math.
for a car, right? If you just have like a regular.
Well, I
person.
couldn't do the cars. That was
No,
the
you
part.
couldn't?
That's what I missed. That was where I fucked
Well,
up.
that's how Lyft started. Lyft was similar to that. Like if you had found a way to do it, like that's how Lyft got their start. Uber was
'Cause
black
then
cars.
you-
Lyft was trying to get their. If I'm not mistaken, their
drivers.
first thing was Lyft was connecting people in San Francisco from universities. So like Berkeley to USC on the weekends, and like Cal to USC and Polytech and all that stuff. So it was people that would go, and students looking for rides in groups. So they did like real ride sharing first. That's how Lyft got their start.
So that was the idea, but we couldn't get past the laws in Ontario about private people because of like liability
Insurance,
and
yeah,
whatnot. So I was doing like this thing, and I was like, well, let me go grassroots. So we set up booths, and a beautiful booth. I was going from university to university and trying to get people to help me out because I needed someone at each university that knew people that could interact as well. So I was introduced to. Well,
Yeah, I think we knew each other.
we knew each other
Yeah, I
for
think
sure. We knew each other for
already.
sure. But I asked
that. I
Hytham to
worked your
find
booth.
someone who's a very close friend of mine, lives in London, and
Shout out
he worked
Hytham.
with me. Yeah. So.
I'll never forget when I met him for the first time. We were in a bar and he's telling me his name, and I'm like, because then Andrew Murray used to call him Hythos.
Hythos.
Yeah.
Hythos. Yeah.
Remember? Hythos. So then he was like,
He was promoting,
hi
voice marketing.
thumb.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? He's like, hi thumb. I'm like, hi thumb. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, now he's like, everyone looks at him as like, oh, Drake or Lil Wayne or French Montana. Like he loves that shit, like.
Do you know what? Hytham
Not
was
Lil
actually
Wayne,
part
but-
of the Pretty Ricky nickname. It was him and Andrew Moretti that gave it to me.
So he loves it when people, next time you see him, call him French Montana. He gets
loves
he
it, eh?
pretends like he doesn't. I call him DJ Khaled, but he doesn't like that one as much.
I miss
Oh,
Western.
Good times.
Boys, this is a blast.
This is a blast.
It's actually pretty close to our.
Yeah, whatever. We're gonna keep going.
That was fun, man. We honestly, and the thing is, I feel like we could have got. There's a lot more we could have talked about. I'm so fascinated by these cards now. Don is gonna get.
Yeah, you gotta get.
I'm gonna bring my cards that I
I'm
got.
gonna tell this
too.
guy I want a commission if he got
That's it.
all the card sales.
But Sako, we got 2 questions we always ask every guest at the end of every episode. Do you know them?
No,
Doesn't listen that hard, but it's okay.
I don't listen all the way to the end.
Yeah, it's-
my run is done before.
How many are you running? 2 kilometers? 3 kilometers?
Yeah, it's true. No, it's a long run. It's just a slow pace.
First question: if there was a movie about your life, who would you want to play you? Could be anyone from any point in time.
I mean,
Summer, maybe.
Antonio Banderas for sure.
Oh, that's-
Yeah, I can see that.
Like
He's not Armenian,
yeah.
though.
I was
He's
just
not.
gonna
I mean,
ask.
he could be. I haven't checked.
Is there some
No,
website?
no,
Is he
there-
Armenian or not?
Yeah, is
No,
he
no,
Armenian?
he's not
That's
Armenian.
the app you just start.
But there are a couple.
Is it Armenian? Like that app? and you put it in.
Are they Armenian?
Wow, you should.
You know, the fat guy from Thing was Armenian from Borat. Azamat.
Him I could tell. He had an Armenian look to
He
him.
was Armenian. Then
Yeah, that guy's
I
funny.
love this.
Um,
George, you hit him with so Antonio Banderas. That's a good one.
Antonio Banderas. I mean, you can see the resemblance, really. It's not
definitely, you better look.
Or Ralph Macchio. I don't know. Karate Kid.
You look at like honestly on our you look
Karate
at,
Kid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you didn't have the long hair, you could be Ralph Macchio.
No, I like Antonio. He's more of a ladies' man.
You actually do a rough.
Suave.
Yeah.
George, you hit
if
him.
you could give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Collect more cards when you were young.
Sako, honestly, man, you are a great, you're a good storyteller, man. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me, guys. I had a great time.
Honestly, it's a pleasure.
I expect a shout out every other show, by the way.
100%, man. Honestly, we appreciate you like supporting it from the beginning, man. It does mean a lot to us. Like, people don't realize, like, you know, we did this like just as a hobby to start, like collecting cards, and still it is a hobby, but you know, it's always nice like when your friends early on support, and then when they even like they pick up, and you know, it meant a lot to us and really cool. Obviously, we hope to see you back in the Godfather King Street back on King Street soon.
Yeah, soon.
Yeah. And we'll be out in full force, and I will go to Mrs. Robinson.
Mrs. Robinson.
Mrs. Robinson.
Mrs. She's married.
And that's it, guys.
Sako, if you want to find out more about you and your clubs and restaurants, and where can they find you?
Yeah, I mean, my Instagram at Sako_D. That's the easiest place to find me, but you'll see me around.
Good thing you don't have your full last name there, because that would
yeah,
be tough.
that's too long. Too long. It's an Armenian last name. It's long.
You'd have to Google that for sure.
But
guys.
did you confirm the
There's something that's written about it.
Well, you know,
Shit,
hey, we
I
gotta
gotta
give him a
find it.
DNA
I
Her
gotta
test.
search
find it.
history
I
is
gotta
just all. Is it Armenian? Is this Armenian? Is that Armenian?
No, do you know what? We gotta get
the
a
hot
DNA.
and cold water thing.
Laptop's put away. It's okay.
No. Someone will fact check us. Guys, what a blast.
This has been a blast. If you listen to the end, thank you for listening, guys.
That was a long one. Thank you.
It's been a blast, and signing off, guys. Cheers.
Later. Oh
Did
man.
you check it?
It is Armenian.
You see?
It's Armenian.